Okay. Hi. How's everyone doing? So let's have a look. Who's in the chat greeting us on this wonderful 26th of July Montag? We have Watery Tart. Hello, great to see you. Watery Tart is the man who's done the music in this game, as well as music in other games, and a friend of the stream as a general awesome dude as well. So we're excited about that. We also have Spacey. Thank you very much for subbing. I appreciate it. I will have a panid on you. Not right now. I've got some water, but I will consider it. We have the artifacts in chat. Honestly, Dan, it's good to see you. Well, you can now see me. You could hear me oddly before, but hello, good to see you. Okay, what Hapless Fools are you going to have on this week? Well. He's talking about himself. We have the 8BitSkull dev here as well. Oh, I realise I've put 88. Oh, for flip's sake. For flip's sake. Let's fix that up right now. And the worst thing is I copied and pasted it, so it's wrong twice. Oh my gosh. Hold on. We've got to change this. We can change this. It's fine, right? There's still time to save it. There. Okay. That is updated. Okay, and this may mean... Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I still haven't caught up with chat because I'm a professional. I'm a professional. I realised that... hold on. If you didn't remember, I'm a professional. Yeah, my tweet didn't actually tag either. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to delete the tweet and then we're going to retweet it. That's my style. I can't be doing incorrect tweets. Thank you for those who liked it and retweeted it already. Unfortunately, your love is not appreciated. I need to retweet this because we can't get the name wrong. It's not respectful, is it? All right, let's go again. We got this. It's fine. I'm sure the algorithm stops spam tweets, but don't worry. We will see it here today. Red circle for live, and we will get our interview going quite soon because I know 8-Bit Dev himself is short, well, not short on time, but precious with time because he is a father relatively recently, and we all can imagine that spare time does not be it's not such a luxury, I'd imagine, when you have a whole other tiny person to make sure that they stay alive and all that jazz, you know, feed them and get into sleep and all of the fun activities that I'm sure we can hear about. Right, almost finished with this tweet, don't you worry. There we go. I think we've got it within the character limit. What an exciting time to be alive. All right. So, those who are interested in... Oh, it better do a preview now or I'm going to get very sad. Why is it not doing a preview now? There we go. It's worked. It's fine. Right, let's get a link to this and let's redo this. Let's start again. All right. Hi, welcome to the stream. We've got 8-Bit Dev on the stream tonight. This is the tweet advertising the wonderful things that we're doing. How exciting is this? Okay, also, let's see who else we've got in the chat. I apologize for the slight slip up on my part. So we have Coleslaw. How great to see you. We have Honest Dan, the most handsome person in the chat. Good job. I have my best fan is over there pointing right at me. It's not even that warm anymore, but I came down and I think the heat's been building up downstairs today. We have FME. Hello. Welcome. Andre, lovely to see you as well. Long time. Baukereg, how good to see you. Temperature in the UK is pretty fine, to be honest. It's not as bad as it has been last week. We had a lot of rain over the weekend to kind of balance things a bit. Hodsy, good to see you. We have Drake Spartan. Hello. Yes, I know. I gave him a whole extra 80 digits of bit rate. I'm not too sure he deserved that. You don't rebrand to save that. That is funny. Hello. Right. Okay. We are caught up, and I I would normally do a bit more of an introduction to what we're going to be doing, but due to trying to respect 8BitSkull Dev's time a little bit more, we're going to jump straight into a Discord call with him. Let me just check one thing with him. Making sure he has clothes on, because I mean, as an audio, if it's an audio stream, you can tell, right? You can tell. That is a horrible response you just gave me, 8BitSkull. Okay. I'm assuming you meant it in a horrid way, but it could have been legitimate given the recent. Yeah, I know, but you shouldn't tell a gentleman to call you daddy, should you? It's not. Anyway, okay. So I'd like to introduce 8BitSkull. He is known as Alex. You may know him as well from topbraj, from the time that he used to stream on Twitch, or to stream regularly at least. And yeah, we're going to be checking out his game Fates of War, which he was developing on stream. He was also using an engine, which I remember that was like something that I've not seen anyone else use before. So it'd be interesting to talk about that. So without further ado, let's jump in a call and we can have a little chat for the next 25 minutes or so with the wonderful Alex. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello there, Alex. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Wonderful, and I can hear you perfectly, which is great. Stream, can you give us some feedback? Make sure that Daddy sounds great.
It does sound great.
Yeah, okay. I noticed my my fan is just picking up a bit, or my mic is picking up my fan a little bit. I'm just going to move it and then we'll get started, right, mate? Okay, right. So, hello there. Good day. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I am well, if not a little bit ashamed of my mistakes and lack of preparedness. But other than that, I am going well. I've got a terrible back and a growing sense of how old I am. I did some physical activity on the weekend. It was a friend's stag. We played some football and stuff. And I struggled to move yesterday. And today I'm in an even worse state with my back. I just feel like putting socks on was a struggle. So that sums up my current state. I'm sure it's nothing compared to your recent journey into becoming a father, though. So what's new with you, other than becoming a father?
I think that sounds kind of not as bad as my stag, which ended up with me being hospitalized.
Oh, I mean, it was a very tame stag. It was very lovely, but it was just a group of guys hanging out. We played some football, played some board games and that. How did you end up hospitalized?
Oh, I think I just drank too much. The last thing I remember was speaking to a middle-aged woman, telling her that the guy she was seeing just wasn't into her, and next thing I know, I wake up in hospital.
And it wasn't her reaction, right? It's not like you got beat up.
It was not.
Okay.
No, I just collapsed outside the bar.
That sounds wonderful. Well, for a bit of contrast, the stag I attended, instead of playing beer pong, we played tea pong, where the stag had to down cups of tea because he loves tea. So I mean, no one got hospitalized due to over drinking, that is for sure. But due to time being short, as much as it is enjoyable to have a bit of a chinwag with you, I'll try and make it focused, and we'll start off with just talking a little bit about your past, I guess, in terms of how you got into game dev and the approach and tools that you may use on that kind of game dev journey, and then we'll talk about Fates of War itself, and then we'll try and finish off looking forward, if it's possible for you to continue being an indie dev with a lot more responsibilities, I guess, in your life at the moment. So if that sounds,
all over.
It's all over. Have you finished burying it in the garden, the dream? Okay, well, let's start. So when did you start with game dev? Because I've come into your stream quite a few times, and you have a lovely environment. It's always nice to talk to you. But then I don't know if other than a country that you're from, I do not know much more about your past, if that makes sense. So I don't know whether you've always been into dev or whether it is something that you kind of just did on the side. So would you like to give a bit of a background?
Yeah, sure. So the cheesy answer is that I've always been a game dev, because I used to make really terrible air quotes board games on just pieces of paper when I was a kid. So I always kind of, even playing on the playground and stuff like that, I would be kind of the I guess the DM of games. But probably the actual answer has to be sometime in the early 2000s. I discovered Newgrounds.
Oh yeah. That was like the
Yeah.
Flash site, right?
Exactly. Yeah, got my hands on Flash in a totally legit way, and then made lots and lots of games throughout the years of varying quality. Then in the early, I guess, would you say teens? I'm glad we're in the 20s now, so we can just say what the, we know what the 20s, the 30s, etc. are.
Yeah,
but anyway, I got a proper job. I've worked in investment banks and in accounting firms and stuff like that.
Hang on, in your teens was this?
No, in the teens of like 2013, kind of.
Sorry, I thought you meant your age, not the year. No. My mistake. I was going to say you got into it young, a 12-year-old sorting your bank accounts and stuff. Oh, sorry, continue. Okay.
I think I would have if I could. I've always been a little spreadsheet nerd.
Yeah.
But no, I did that for a few years, and then surprisingly, it wasn't fulfilling. So I decided to move on from that and opt for a life of poverty. So I quit my job and started doing indie dev full time. So I think that was back in 2017.
Okay.
I did that and started. I started on it was an open world kind of pirate game that I got abandoned after a few months or so, and then we moved on to Fates of War instead.
Is there any history of that game, Alex?
I still have all the files and stuff. So
it'd be great.
It still exists.
It'd be great to see, because we know that I don't know. Do you know Irish John Games, who's on
I
Twitch?
Do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times.
Because he's making himself a wonderful open world-ish. I'm not too sure how open world it is actually, but like an online pirate game, which is great. And he found out I was a backstabber because I was working on Sea of Thieves at work. He feels that like I'm basically trying to kill his game. I'm the competition. So, we've had a drama fallout about that I'm hoping that BuzzFeed picks up on and writes an article about soon. But no, you mentioned one thing that so you went into work and then you decided to change in around 2017. Did you have any kind of computer sciencey based education? Because it sounds to me like you just kind of taught yourself from a young age that because you were really enthusiastic about it, or was there some more formal kind of education in programming and stuff?
No, it was my university degree is in finance and accounting, so there was absolutely no formalized computer programming training, anything like that, which regulars of my stream will attest to. It's all self-taught spaghetti, basically.
No, that's not. Hey, everyone has to learn at one point, and to be honest, it's just when you go to university for it, you're just having someone teach you from a book instead of you reading and figuring it out yourself or finding guides and working stuff out. So to be honest, it's the time invested in the motivation I feel that tends to equate to successful learning. So no, that's good to hear. And I think it's also good for people who are interested in game dev but haven't done it. I think sometimes there's that barrier. Oh, I've got to go and do a game dev degree. And I didn't do a game dev degree. I happened to do a computer sciencey based degree, which went through programming, which helped. But I think it's nice for people to see that you don't really have to go and get a formal education. And I would echo that from my experiences in industry so far, is that if you've got enough ability and enough of if you can showcase enough of your ability, then it really doesn't matter, in some companies at least. So no, that's refreshing to hear as well. If anyone in the chat wants to ask a specific question to me or to Alex that is not weird questions like the ones that have been in chat, and if your name isn't Fletcher, that's fine, just tag me so I can see my name later up in chat, because I'm not having the time to read everything at the moment. But okay, so that was in 2017. You started on a kind of open world piratey game. When did you switch over to Fates of Vault?
I think about 6 months or something like that. We worked on the pirate game, and then switched over to Fates of War. Right.
Okay. And what is the name of the engine thing that you use again? Is it like Default or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. Nobody knows how it's pronounced. Not even the creators can decide on it. So I call it Default, but the way you said it is fine as well.
Yeah, well, it's less contentious than Godot or Godot or however you want to say that engine, at least, I guess, right?
I love the last one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go for that.
it's kind of like I often say the right way to pronounce it is like a tennis player really like reaching for that shot in the middle of a difficult rally. Yeah, anyway, just in case any kids at home are wondering how you're meant to say it and you don't want to look stupid, you're welcome. Okay, so how did you start using that engine? And do you want to give us a bit of info about that engine? Because we're not trying to be impolite or anything, but I'd imagine it's not very well known, and there's probably quite a few people in chat who've never heard of it, and so it's always nice to know what kind of tools are out there for people.
Yeah, I think it is relatively unknown. So I think it started as an in-house engine for King, the people that made what's it called, Candy Crush, I think.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's been spun off now, so it's totally independent. It is like one step away from being totally open source. They've got some restriction there that makes it not technically open source. But yeah, I think I was transitioning from Flash to something else because Flash was nearing the end of its life cycle.
R.I.P. Right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
did well.
I will fight anyone that has a problem with Flash because it's I think it's created a generation of game devs, and I think it was great for what it was.
I'd agree with you. As someone who hasn't actually been into using Flash, I think it just it allowed an environment for kind of self-publishing games in a really easy to share kind of environment, right? Without a lot of the barriers that would normally kind of come with game development, where games were still being shipped on cartridges and discs, you know. So yeah, I definitely agree that it was an important part in many game devs' kind of spark of their creative kind of journey in game dev, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I see a comment in chat that someone still uses Flash. Definitely for vector art, it's still incredible, and we still use Flash for some art assets for some games, not for Fates of War specifically, but yeah, definitely. And there's a guy that made the Epic Battle Fantasy series that I think still works in Flash, so it's definitely still viable. But yeah, anyway, I was looking to move on, and I was definitely aiming for a 2D engine, and something that was relatively easy to transition to. So I had a look at Unity, and it was frankly a bit overwhelming for me moving from Flash, which was just timeline based, to Unity. And I mean, I know Unity is perfectly capable of doing 2D stuff, but it felt like too much at one time. So I had a look around, and I found Default, and really liked the look of it. And this is going to spark some controversy in the chat, but I really, really liked the look of Lua. Still do. I think it's great. So yeah. So
that's the language, is it, that you use?
That's the language you use. In Default, and it's I've stuck with it since. It's great.
So I've heard people say like Lua or Lua before, and I never know like what is that the actual language, right? Or is that a framework around an existing like JavaScript or something like that?
So Lua is its own programming language.
Okay.
It is was made by a Brazilian guy, I think, and I think it just means moon in Portuguese.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, good. It's nice to hear this, and I'd say with 2D, one of the things that struck me with like with going into Unity 3D is like when you need to make a 3D game, it's still in 3D. You just kind of gotta just look at it on one perspective in a way. And I always felt a little bit like, not that it's doing it wrong or anything, it's perfectly fine, but for me it added an extra layer of a bit of like complexity that maybe you don't have that starting working in Flash, right? I don't. Or is there 3D stuff in Flash actually? That's the point.
I think there might have been, but I never touched it or saw it. And actually, I misrepresenting Default because it actually is entirely a 3D engine, but you would never know looking at it, and it builds itself as a 2D engine primarily. So
okay, so it might be similar then in the way that Unity, like you have that option to do it, but it's just a certain kind of mode where it locks your axes based on what kind of game you're doing, I guess, and changes some things. Do you have to like select it on a project, like I want to do a 2D one, and then that configures your editor somewhat, or is it?
No, not quite. I think default, the philosophy they go for is they want it to be as bare bones as possible, and then you plug in extensions as and when you need them. So that's probably how you would go about it. You'd pick 3D extensions and
Yeah.
stuff to enable it. But I haven't even experimented with it at all,
No,
so
that's
I
fair.
wouldn't
That's
know.
fair. Cool. Well, thank you, Alex. It's good to learn about that stuff. I want to roll back a little bit to you worked on this open world pirate game for 6 months and then stopped, and then went on to a game which you ended up working on for years and releasing it. So first off, congratulations on doing that, because I think that's a step that a lot of people don't get to. But you also did say that you stopped working, right, to concentrate on this full time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it. So I was working in a bank at the time, and I said to my now wife that I wasn't happy. I wanted to start saving up so that it's a few decades in the future I could maybe quit and start doing this.
Yeah.
She said, "Why the hell are you waiting? And go for it."
Yeah, I
So
think I remember you said something before about like that your wife was very, very supportive on it, and like because she works, right, or well, she did at least before you
yeah, no,
started
she
the
does.
family.
She does. Yeah,
Yeah, which helped.
I'm the primary house husband, baby caretaker at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Well,
So
that
yeah.
it's nice. It's nice because like I think there's definitely stereotypes or more kind of old fashioned kind of expectations of gender roles in a relationship as well. And so like first off, I think it was awesome of your partner to be supportive of you and be like, look, you go and do this. Don't worry about having the savings now because I'm bringing money into the house as well, and we'll make it work. And also now that you're fulfilling that role, where you are kind of like the stay-at-home dad in a sense. So yeah, it's nice and refreshing to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just shout outs to her because she's incredibly supportive and she makes things happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's the second best thing to ever happen to me after the baby, probably.
And I guess she gave you that best thing. So I mean,
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind
ultimately,
of like
she's got spot 1 and 2, hasn't she? She's on both
yeah,
parts of the podium.
they both do. Yeah.
Yeah, how dare they? Well, shout out to Mrs. Topbraj. Well, I guess we can use the name Cat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out. I mean, someone timestamp this so he can go and show it to prove his love to her at some point, right? But right, so that's cool. I really like that, and it's cool that you managed to dedicate time, and that's something that I personally found in my little journey to get where I am now. That the fact that I was able to, due to various reasons, to not have to do my learning of game dev and pushing myself into it like on the side alongside a full-time job allowed me to just kind of develop so much more rapidly and without as much burnout, and it allowed me to really kind of just go with my hunger to learn rather than having to balance it around everything else at the same time. So I'm guessing the pirate game was done within this window then, right? You didn't like start on the side. It was like once you started working full time, you started working on that pirate game, right?
I might have shirked my duties at my
Okay.
job for a little bit to study Lua
Yeah.
during working hours, but yeah, basically most of it happened when I quit my job. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So I guess that one of the important things I want to ask is what made you realize I want to stop on that first project and move to the next one, and the kind of the loaded question element of this is that I think people often with the first game can completely maybe not understand scoping and can also cling on to the idea of I'm going to finish this, and that can sometimes kill their game dev in a way because they may never get to that endpoint due to lack of skills, experience, or time, and then they feel guilty about not finishing it, and then they don't move on to anything else as well. So yeah, I'm curious about like how did you make that decision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a few factors. I think the key one would have been that the artist, I can't remember the details actually, but he kind of dropped off a little bit. So it was hard to get assets out of him.
Right.
That was the final blow. I think there was a few other things like that you touched on. For example, the scope wasn't well defined. There was definitely an underestimation of how long it would take because it was my first project that targeted Steam, or actually selling it as opposed to creating a casual Flash game just for web portals and stuff like that. So I felt the responsibility to deliver something much bigger than I ever had done before. So I always expected game projects to take 6 months to maybe a year at most, and that wasn't realistic for what this was. And I think it was a lot of things like that. It wasn't well planned out. We just kind of started on a lark and just kind of made what we wanted, and I think it probably would have just dragged on forever and not been particularly good in the end. So the fact that the artist dropped off was kind of a mercy, I think. But
it gave you almost a reason to kind of reassess, I guess, and without feeling like you're abandoning the work. And I think that's one of the factors that keeps people on a project sometimes, even if it might be good to move on from it, is like, oh, we've put this work in so far, or they still have this idea in their head of how it could be, but they're so far away from it that it does make sense to maybe you either need to get more people on board or put more time in, or just move away from the project. So that's good to hear. It's sad in a way that you had to end the project, but at the same time that led you to Fates of Fort. So how was this born then? Is this an idea that developed during development, or something that you wanted to make and then like you had it all planned out and then just went at it?
So I learned exactly nothing from the Pirate Project, and we just started. Literally, the other artist I worked with since the Newgrounds days, he just sent me a tile set for an isometric RPG kind of thing, and we just kind of went from there. He just sent me maybe like 10 environments, and I started piecing together a story out of that. Made some, started doing like the movement and attacks and that kind of stuff. So again, I expected it to take maybe 6 months to develop. Yeah, very wrong.
I would kind of, I think it's you can welcome to carry on now, but just for chat as well. I think 6 months to 12 months that you mentioned earlier as well is a time frame for the smallest game. I don't like. It's very hard to get games like under 6 months if you want to go the full route of publishing something that isn't a buggy mess that has a decent couple of hours of gameplay in it. So it's good to, it's kind of good to know this before you get started, right? Because expectations need to, it really helps. It's not always a pleasant experience when you realize, oh crikey, this is going to take X times longer. Because maybe your plans don't support your ability to work on that much longer. But sorry, I do continue. So you thought it was going to be another 6 to 12 monther, did you?
Yeah, it ended up being 2.5 years until release, and then probably it was stretched out because I was working on my next project and baby disrupted my working patterns. But I would say maybe another equivalent 6 months of intensive patching and additional features to release. So I think basically about 3 years is probably a fair assessment of how long it's taken to develop it.
Lovely. Okay. And so the idea of it, you just came up with it as you were deving it, I guess. So you had these assets from a colleague that you work with, as you said, and it was more of just kind of go think on your feet sort of thing, is it, and build it up and think, oh, this could be cool.
Yeah, I think so. Just to kind of go off on a tangent, I think I'm part of some kind of indie developer game groups and that kind of thing. And one of the things you often see is that people laugh at is the concept of an ideas guy, that someone that comes up with very fancy ideas and just expects that to be the hardest part, and then actually implementing it is the easy part. And I never quite. I don't feel that about myself. I think that my problem is when I have total freedom, I just kind of get bogged down and get a bit of decision paralysis. So the fact that the artist sent me these graphics, it was kind of like the theme for a game jam.
For sure.
It kind of inspires creativity by limitation. So I knew I had all these different environments and I had to connect them somehow and make it work. So that in a way just kind of restricting the scope of what was possible allowed me to be a bit more creative and come up with something from that.
I like that. That's awesome to hear. And do you know what? It crossed my mind exactly as you went on to say that's kind of like a game jam, and it did think that restriction process can be super creative. So it may not always be about like let's come up with the best idea, but it might be in the world, full stop. But it might be like how can we make something interesting out of this, and you're given a predefined set of confinements, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds really an interesting way for development, and I think that's going to be a different story to quite a few people we've probably spoke to so far. And I think it's good to see that games can be made in different ways. You don't have to have this 50-page design doc. As much as me, I'm someone who does like to do a lot of planning and writing stuff out before I get started. There's many different ways to do it, and I think what's important about that is it means that you can be dynamic. Like, because sometimes you don't get these realizations until you've got a working kind of prototype in front of you as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am moving slightly towards that, not massively, but I do think you need to structure things a bit better. I don't think. I think I'm trying to strike a balance between. I don't know if there's a cheesy way to phrase this, but kind of, or non-cheesy way to phrase this, but some kind of creative integrity and profitability. So I think I can't just do whatever I fancy this year, but I also don't want to just stare blindly at metrics and just pursue whatever pays at the moment, because then I'd be better off doing accounting. So I do need to
sure.
I do think I need to formalize my structures a bit more, which I think I'm doing, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I've seen with Windybeard, is that as he's gone through quite a few different games that he's released, he's now kind of looking at like how long he wants to work on a game, and with some kind of trajectory, I guess, of like how much is the potential that he could sell based on the kind of upwards trends of people buying his games and stuff, and that can help stop you, but spend 3 years on a game that is only going to sell to 100 people, because that may not be a good kind of return kind of on your time as well. But so I guess that this is a good point to talk about, and of course only disclose as much as you want to on this. So I guess the idea now then is that this is going to be your full-time job from henceforth, or is there plans besides that?
Yeah, so I think the situation is a bit fluid. I think with baby, I think I can't really see myself going back to a normal job at the moment, because then we would need to pay for childcare anyway.
Yeah.
So most of my salary would go to that. So it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. I think from how I work, I tend to work in intensive bursts. So I probably have only a few hours of useful work in me each day, right, which I can currently spread out over nap times and such. So I do manage a bit of productivity, even though I'm full-time taking care of the baby. So I think based on that, I'm going to continue doing this for some time. And the rough plan is, if this doesn't work, then I'll probably retrain slightly to do some kind of more normal programming job, because I really would not like to go back to accounting if I can avoid it.
Yeah. No, that sounds fine, and I mean, it sounds very reasonable. It's nice to have a bit of a backup plan as well, because I think it doesn't matter sometimes how good you are with either programming or creative and ideas and that. The game dev is very much not a guaranteed kind of I guess income. It's very difficult to kind of, if everyone could make money from making games, it wouldn't really make sense, right? Because you need certain games will sell, certain games won't, and it's about people buying it, and it's about getting people knowing about your game. And I do think it's definitely something that can definitely work, but it's important for people to have some form of backup plan as well to kind of go along with those ambitions. But we've got to the point where I said that I would let you leave at your leisure, because I know that your time is relatively precious, good sir. But before you go, you're welcome to tell us about your future or your current project as well. If you want to share any information about that, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, that's fine. I haven't had any alarms, so I think I'm not in a rush to leave. But
okay.
By 7 for sure I'll need to go. So
okay, yeah, well, we can carry on for a bit then. That suits me. Well, go ahead. Let's talk about your new project then.
Yep. So once I finished Fates of War, I started thinking about it's been quite a journey with this one actually. I started thinking about a space game, and the core mechanic I came up with was one where the game is set on a generation ship. And I think I haven't really seen many games like that. There's one called Void Ship: The Long Journey, I think, but this one that I was picturing was a crew of maybe a dozen individuals, so very small, and a number that is far too small for something to carry on for generations. So the core mechanic I was thinking of was trying to manage the genetics of the crew, trying to avoid too much recombination while combining them in favorable ways. And I've spent maybe 6 months on that, developing that idea, and I scrapped it about a month or two ago because I just couldn't get it to work.
Well, it sounds definitely like one of those that's like interesting, but it's a very complex way to get a satisfying result out of it.
Yeah,
Where it's
I just couldn't get it. I was playtesting it in my head, lots and lots and lots, and I just could never get it feeling good or fun. I like the idea. I think it's got potential, but I just couldn't crack it.
That's a shame. That's a shame. But like, I think I do understand the perspective and what you're coming from. I think it's very. I often get ideas that I think are great, and it's not that they're bad ideas. It's just sometimes how you can translate that to be a good game. It doesn't always. They're not always synonymous, because a game that feels like the player has a lot of choice, like, oh, you can combine all these people in different ways, or to get this crew to, as you were explaining earlier, right? But maybe there's not that many exciting ways to do it. There's almost like you just get a very kind of optimal way to do it, and the reward is good, but it's not super exciting. And is it enough of a hook of a gameplay loop to get people interested and kind of wanting to play it more and more and more? So well, that's a bit of a shame, but at the same time, I think that's also part of game development, right? Is to kind of prototype, to start to flesh things out, and to assess them as they go on, rather than just go head down, eyes closed until you hit the finishing line, right?
Yeah, and I think for a little humble brag, I think it displays personal growth, because I think my issue with in the past with something like Fates of War was that I kept a lid on it for ages. I wouldn't let anybody playtest it until it was almost done. So Fates of War had issues that never really kind of saw the light of day until very late in the development cycle. Whereas here, I was happy to kill something off that it would have made a passable game, but it just wouldn't have been great. So I think it's probably better to cut your losses sooner. I do have a project on the go, which is still a generation ship. So the only thing is I've cut out the one idea that I had that I thought was the core of it. So it's still a generation ship, but I've just literally spliced out the mechanic, the genetics combination mechanic.
Right. Okay. And is it building a story around stuff instead, or do you have an idea what the kind of the elevator pitch element of it would be?
I do have an idea. I don't have an elevator pitch, so I can't condense it into a sentence or so, but I can describe what it is.
Yeah.
It is going to be, something that is quite limited in scope, thankfully. I was going to describe it as a space-themed combination of two games, which are Reigns, Reigns, and Luck Be a Landlord, which I think is quite. I don't know of any game that's quite done that, but
what was the other game that you said? Sorry.
Let me just type out in chat.
I got the Reigns one, and then the something about landlord. Luck
Be a Landlord.
Oh, be a landlord video game. Awesome. So we can drop these up here just so we can just have you're welcome to carry on talking a little bit about what kind of parts of these that you see as interesting. But
so Reigns, I think I would describe it as like a king simulator, where the kind of the interaction you have is like Tinder. Basically, you get presented with a
Yes.
card and you swipe left or right. I think it's a genius idea. The only thing I don't like about Reigns is that you've got these 4 stats that you're kind of hovering over right now. It's like
Yeah.
the clergy population, military, and economy, and each action you do has an impact on some of them.
Mm.
But the game hides what that impact is, and
Yeah.
I think that is. I mean, that game is really successful, so I don't want to. I mean, they're better than me, but I think that was a mistake. I don't think that's a good part of that game.
So do you think what it rewards those who play it enough to memorize the impact of what like this does that, rather
Yeah,
than
yeah,
let the player have more information to make the decisions? Is it?
yeah. I think so.
Mm.
So I'm going to be. I'm going to have a couple of bars like that, but they're going to be life support, hull, fuel, that kind of
Well,
stuff.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you're absolutely going to go. You're absolutely going to know what's going to happen. Yes, it does show that it affects the bars up or down.
Yeah.
No, I think it just actually shows which bars it affects. I don't think it shows how it affects them.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Um,
a bit more information at least, right?
yeah, so there's some information, but it's gated a bit, and I don't think. Um, I just like that's my personal opinion. It's a very successful game, so
Yeah,
who am
yeah,
I to say that? But I
you're
think
allowed to. You're allowed to. I think
yeah,
you're
you have
talking
to.
about design.
Yeah,
It's subjective, man. So it's all good.
yeah, absolutely. You have to be able to take a punt and say maybe I could do better on this.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
And
Okay, so
Luck Be a Landlord is a game where it's basically a slot machine, roguelike. Don't know which genre best describes it, but
mm,
it's very simple. You have to pay rent after a number of spins, and you just choose symbols to add to your slot machine, and they have crazy interactions, and that's basically the game.
yeah, okay. I can see a little bit from
It's
this GIF.
yeah, it's incredibly condensed, which is I think quite brilliant. So the thing I'm going to borrow from that one is a kind of tag system. So the way my game's going to work is you're going to be in space and you're going to be presented with, say, 3 destinations to go to. And
Mm,
that's going to be a spin in Luck Be a Landlord. And each destination is going to have a few impact on your ship. For example, if you go to a repair station, you might get a bonus to your hull. If you go to a trading outpost, you might get some life support resources and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
But each of those destinations are going to have tags on them. So the research station might have ship, people, friendly tags, and that kind of stuff. And then you're going to get different research tech and stuff like that that's going to interact with tags. So, for example, each time you visit a ship tag, increase your hull by 5%. That kind
so
of
it's
stuff.
the
So
interaction between the what the. So is there any element of this kind of spinning, or is it more of the interaction between the different types of like icons or things that we have here? That you.
so yeah, so it is quite similar in the sense. So this a spin is an analogous. I don't know how to pronounce that to choosing a destination. So you
Right.
get to choose one of them to go to, and on the face of it, each destination is going to be quite simple, but based on what upgrades and I guess debuffs you have, they're going to get more and more complex and
Yeah.
have
Okay. I
lots of
see.
interactions and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it because it's like taking inspiration from the core rather than the front facing kind of player kind of experience in a way.
Yeah.
And I think we find that quite often with games, isn't it? That we play it and we can draw these parallels after a while. You see some games which are visually similar and you go, oh, it's like this game. But then there's other games that you play and you like, you don't quite figure out why, and then after a while you understand like those core little elements that are satisfying to play. So, oh well, that sounds exciting. So you're relatively, I guess, was there much you were able to port from your previous project into this?
No, I had to kill quite a lot. I think I'll be able to pull out some utility stuff out of it, but the most of the work is going to be down the drain, I think. That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
So, okay, in terms of your development of this, then, am I right to assume, due to your short burst working kind of environment at the moment, that if people want to keep up to date with your work, are you trying to share it in any way? I'm presuming you don't stream on Twitch at the moment, right?
No, I'm not streaming on Twitch.
Hmm.
I think the best way to keep up is probably either my Discord or it will be my newsletter, but you can sign up to my newsletter from the Discord. So
Yeah. Have you got a link to the Discord we can drop in chat if anyone's
um,
interested?
Pulling it out right now.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Thank you very
There.
much. Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah. So people can keep up to date via newsletters, which I assume would be sort of like devlogs, I guess, that you email out to people. Is it who express interest in the following the game?
I'm still finding my feet, but so far it's I intend to, once I get far enough, to start publishing free builds of the game on the newsletter.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that sounds wonderful. Well, cool. I'm excited for you. It sounds like you've got a big project ahead of you. Well, some cool ideas. I mean by big, and at the same time, it sounds refreshing that the scope of it is. It's not one of those that is like super deep. It's story deep. And maybe not massively deep in assets, and it might just give you time to focus on the depth of the mechanics and hopefully get something out within the time frame that you've kind of budgeted for this as well.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, that sounds great. If anyone in chat has any questions, you've got a minute or so do feel free to spam something out now, or forever you will be silenced of the wonderful Alex's voice, for who knows, it could be another year or two until he resurfaces on the internet.
Could be forever years.
Don't speak such things. No, it'll be on a stage, right? Like one of the GTC things, right? This is how I made my super successful game. Well, I say so. I don't care if you don't agree confidently. But okay, so we're going to be checking out Fates of Ort then today, and Alex has been kind enough, because the game takes a bit of time to get into. He's been kind enough to make me a save file so that I can kind of start a little chunk in. And he's done a tiny little kind of slideshow that goes over the intro of the story to kind of set us up. Now, there are choices that you make in this game, and some of the choices about our path have been made for us, but it's not like a massive amount of stuff that we need to explain or anything, which is important. So we will be getting onto that now. The final question before I forget, I was going to ask to Alex as well, was about the releasing this game on the Switch. So that is something that you've done, and we've talked about people publishing games on Steam before. We don't have time to go into that with yourself today. However, I think you do have that relatively more unique experience of publishing something on the Switch. So if you, in whatever time you've got left, how was that experience for you?
Yeah, it was fine. I have to give credit to Default there. They made it very painless. I think the only stuff I had to do was revamp the gamepad controls for the game, because they were not up to scratch for the Switch.
Right.
And the rest of the technical stuff was very, very easy to handle using Default. So there's very little changes I had to make. Fair bit of administrative work compared to Steam and GOG. I think it was much more required for Nintendo.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd say relatively painless, given all of that, and of course, childhood dream and all that. So
yeah, you can play it on a console.
Yeah,
I mean, how exciting is that? You
don't
have a Switch.
I don't have a Switch. I have the dev kit, but
okay.
You can only play your own games on it.
Oh, what other games are there to play, mate? What's the point? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got Fates of Ort, right?
What else do you need? No, well, that sounds good. It's interesting that it's a bit more paperwork. At the same time, I'm not massively surprised, or admin, I guess we should say, rather than paperwork. Because some people have said with Steam, it's a bit more. There's a bit more to it than you'd maybe anticipate. So. Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit more involved on the Switch, but it sounds great that it seems to be tools either from default, as you said, or within engine that just allows you to build for that target platform, and there wasn't so much from a development side that you needed to kind of get too deep into.
Yeah.
So that's great, because I think being able to Switch is definitely a console that I think is a sensible console to target. It's relatively friendly to indie developers as well, in the sense that I don't think the process is quite as straightforward to get your game on a PlayStation or an Xbox. I might be wrong with that. I know Quasi TV got Shotgun Farmers published on Xbox, and that's doing great. But still, I think Switch is that great platform. Just the way that you find games on the Switch as well. There's like an online like marketplace of games on the Switch, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you found that people are finding your game on there, or is that still something you're hoping to target and improve? Is the like visibility of your stuff?
I think the performance in terms of sales and stuff has been broadly on par with Steam, so
Okay.
I'm very happy with that.
Was there any marketing or anything involved by yourself in that, like official marketing, other than you trying to like tell everyone on every social media that you got?
I did a little bit of outreach to some YouTubers and some online kind of press outlets and stuff like that, but I don't think that had much of any impact, to be honest.
Okay, okay. Well, I think for you to still make the sales, regardless, I think that is really good to hear. Yeah, and it's quite inspirational, hopefully, to people as well who do want to try and get their games into players' hands. That as much as we've talked on other streams, that sometimes hiring someone or marketing people to try and help you get it out early in that dev process can definitely be a sensible idea. That it's not definitely gonna mean that people don't get a chance to experience and play your game as well. So, Brill. The only question we had from chat, which is a little bit, well, it was followed by a kappa, right? So when's it coming for PS 4 or 5? Huh?
So the default devs are working on PS4 support for default. So if that comes out, I'll try. But yeah, that's about as good an answer as I can provide.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Actually, I didn't expect that answer. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, bro, you're gone 7 o'clock, and you did say 7 o'clock, so we will wrap up now, and I'll switch over to. I'll go through that slideshow. I've put the save file you said into the right folder, and yeah, hopefully they'll all go to plan. If you're able to keep an eye on the stream just for the next 5 minutes in case something like crops up with that whole process. I'll try and tag you, or I'll ping you on Discord or something. But otherwise, we will now play Fates of Vault for the next hour or so, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nipping downstairs to catch up with baby and such, and I'll try and bonk on the stream. So I might catch you a few minutes into a technological disaster. But yeah, thank you for doing this, and I hope you enjoy the game and that it doesn't fall down.
No, lovely. I very much appreciate it. Thanks for making the time. I know time is definitely a precious commodity for you right now. Congratulations on releasing the game on Steam and on Switch and making an awesome game. It's been really nice to talk to you as well, Alex, after the few times of us catching up via streams over the years as well. So yeah, really enjoyed it, and you have a good rest of your day, good sir.
You too. See you later.
Thank you, mate.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers. Everyone say thanks and goodbye to the wonderful 8BitSkull, or Alex, or topbraj, or whatever you want to call him, but keep it clean. This is a family-friendly stream. Okay. We're good. We're good. Now, everyone who's been talking, I appreciate it, by the way, in the chat. Thank you. I know I've not been actively reading and stuff, but I find it very difficult to conduct a chatty kind of interviewee thing and like keep up with chat at the same time. So thank you for your patience with that, and not taking it as a negative thing that the stream interaction is a bit low during those times. But yeah, really lovely to talk to topbraj. He's definitely like someone I always found it really easy to talk and have a bit of a fun chat with back when he was streaming on Twitch. But yeah, we're going to get started on the game then. So I'll first open up the slideshow that you gave, and we'll get reading through this, and I will just take a quick seat, and hopefully I do look a little bit like like I've lost my height. Okay, there we go. You're in lurk mode, no problem. That sounds good. Artifacts. Thank you. I appreciate people being here. Just World Games as well, hello and welcome. Anyone who's new to the stream, just like my name is Dan. I'm a game developer. I work in Unreal Engine and C++ typically. At the moment, I stream Mondays. I sometimes will stream intermittently, like throughout the week and stuff as well. It's been a bit busy with work and life at the moment, so it's been pretty much just Mondays. But I am starting a game jam on this Saturday. If anyone is interested in joining, the Honest Jam is going to be and the theme of it will be announced on Saturday at midday. And let me just get a link. I'll drop the link in there. So unlike the first one, we're not raising money for charity on this one, but I would still definitely very much enjoy if people want to get involved in this one. Here we go. Jan's hosted. Okay, so we got 11 people so far signed up for it. If anyone else wants to get involved, that would be wonderful. Last time we had 70 people sign up, so it'd be great if we could get like 20s to 30s people sign up for this one. As is a little bit short notice and there's not charity involved in this one, then do feel free. It can be a small game and it lasts 2 weekends and the week in between it as well. So you've got 9 days to make whatever you want. Okay, there's no level of quality that's expected, other than it's not just a game that is a meme of silliness. Yeah, try and make a game, but in terms of like how much you give to it, it's really up to you. You can just give a couple of days, or you can give a single day. Like Artifact, you're saying, oh, it's a week long, I only have a weekend. That doesn't sound like a problem to me. It's as long as it is to give more people an opportunity to join in, rather than I expect a game that has had 9 days of work on it. I'm not taking a week off of work, so I'm going to be working probably around 5 hours a day on the weekends, and then I'll probably do around an hour or two in the evenings during the week. So, like, please don't see it as a negative in that sense. But yeah, do feel free to join in if anyone is interested in signing up for that. But without further ado, let's get started then, shall we? So we're going to be checking out Fates of Ord, and this is a bit of a skip because we've got a save file that'll get us more into the action to learn a bit more about the game. I'm not going to be talking Welsh just for the sake of time, and I'm about to start an intro bizarro. How dare you? I will refund you that Welsh if you are offended that I'm not doing it. Okay, so let's have a look. Hello there, how you doing, Sinan? Good to see you. And also, Swifty Spiffy, good to see you as well. Lovely. All right, so let's have a look then. So this is your sister, Valka. She meets you in the academy for your first day. Okay, academy. Sounds like we're going to learn about stuff, right? Okay, and this is a Valka's buddy, Arg. Hold on. Was Valka my sister or my Valka? Yeah, Valka's my sister. This is Valka's buddy, Arg. He teaches you how to use a sword. Well, thank you, Arg. Bizarro. Okay, good. This is the leader of the academy, Master Slovo. Okay, so Master Slovo, what, the one in the hat, I assume? This is Arg, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Arg's there. This is Master Slovo. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So Master Slovo is about to induct you into the academy when a hole appears in the ground, spilling forth demons from the underworld. Uh-oh. We see it over here. Okay, that makes sense. Master Slovo tells you to meet him in the library. Before he gets there, Duke Camersalt shows up. He is a member of the royal family, though you've never heard of him before. He offers power without limits. You don't trust him, so you refuse. But Arg accepts and immediately begins struggling for his life against the corrupting power of consumption. Oh no, not my mentor. The guy who taught me to use a sword. He's not going to turn bad, is he? Master Slovo shows up. Too late to stop what's happening. He throws a magic crystal intended for Arg, but misses. You catch it instead. The power of the crystal whisks you to an alternate dimension. Okay, we are whisked off. Here you meet Old Mother, mother of the three sisters, goddesses and creators of Ord, believed to be myths, but they are real and they are fading. Evil magic, consumption, spread by Duke Camersalt, threatens Ord. Normal magic, that of the sisters, requires a sacrifice. The health of the caster. Consumption magic externalizes the sacrifice, literally destroying a piece of the world itself instead. So that's similar to, if anyone's seen The Witcher, you know how they need to, in order to use the magic, they need to take a living thing from the world and they kind of consume it. So they have like a flower. In order to make something happen, it'll like die in their hand, so to speak. Yeah, I like the fact that there's a cost to some of this, right? Okay, so Old Mother doesn't care about Ord, but she cares about her daughters. She doesn't like you, but you are her only hope of saving her daughters, who are tied to Ord's fate. She doesn't like us. Hang on, whoa. Okay, is it just because that's where I'm from, right? Okay. And then she's not from Ord, so it's very little of a concern, I guess, why she doesn't care, right? Okay, but her daughters are tied to Ord's fate. Okay, so you must choose one of them to absorb her power and carry with you. Okay, so we chose the Sister of Life. So there was a few options. This is where you get to choose as a player. You kind of get to choose, like, would you go down a dark path or a light path? And I said to topbraj that I typically would normally choose a light path, I guess, in games. So, okay. You appear back in the academy. Master Slovo has been dragged off by Duke Camisalt to stand trial for treason. But he's innocent. Indeed he is. He only threw a crystal to try and stop what he started, I guess, right? And Arg is struggling to stay human in the face of the corrupting power of consumption. You and Valka decide to try and rescue Master Slovo, for he must know what to do. Is it Master Slovo who's on trial? Yes, yeah, okay, so we need to get him. Okay, we're trying to rescue him who's been held trial by the Camisalt person, right? As you leave the academy, you're confronted by Duke Camisalt. Oh, there he is. He kills Valka, then you. What? He just kills my sister and then me? Why would he do that? Hey, Ote, nice to see you. Okay. You appear in a kind of purgatory. Old Mother is there, and she scolds you for daring to die with one of her daughters attached to you. She says you are not allowed to die until you deal with consumption. Alright. You reappear outside the academy near an orange spike. This is a fate spike, the fates of old. And it acts as a checkpoint, a place to draw on the power of the sisters to heal and to access your inventory. An old man stands nearby and is shocked to see you. He explains that Valka has been dead for weeks and has been moved to a mausoleum to the west. He tells you to go west and seek the what is this word? Chroniclary? Chroniclary. For the chroniclarian, for the chroniclarian there has something that may be useful. Librarian. Okay, thank you. You just used chronicle. Okay. Chroniclary. We've got this. Chroniclarian. Is that a word? Or did he make it up, chat? Okay, so that's where we got. Okay. Let's get started with this, shall we? Fates of Odd. Okay, we can hear it. We got audio. Just making sure it's balanced nicely for us. I think it sounds quite good in terms of levels. Chat, is it okay to my voice? I guess we'll find out when we're playing. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. So first off, I've always liked the visuals of this game. I think that the art style and the palette, the kind of colors and that has been one of the great things about it whenever I saw you working on it. So yeah, it's really nice to see. Also, for people earlier, this is the game engine we were talking about, that default earlier. No problem, Artifacts. Thank you for the feedback, everyone, other than you, Uno. So if we go play, we should hopefully have... Okay, look, he saved us 0.5 of an hour. What a hero. And we've chosen this way. You can choose different... These are the different sisters, I'd imagine, here, right? Okay. There are 3 types of coins minted in Ord. 1 for each sister. Okay, okay. So here we are. Okay, quest of the scholars begin. I met a scholar named Decord. Decord Kane. He has promised to share the knowledge if I meet him in the chronicle. Oh, I can't. Just the library, west of the academy. Okay. So we have an inventory. In here, what do we have? We have a cloak. Oh, cool. You don't drag it. You just click it. Can you unequip it as well? No. Okay, that's fine by me. At the moment, that sounds fine. Okay, so is this a different tab or is this just saying our magic? That's just our magic. We have a quest log. This is some of this. They have the same name. Oh, okay, I think it just loops, does it? Yeah, okay, that loops, that's fine. Okay, we're not going to spend too long going through there. I like that there was a hint button though, that sounds good. We got settings, we got quit. Okay, we got experience down here and we've got health. Okay, so to the west, I'm guessing west is that way. I'm guessing north is north as we look now. Otherwise, that would be a bit confusing. So do we just click and we go? Okay, so I can hold click and I move. I can click once and it just goes one tile in that direction. So is it taking me into the building or through? Curses, I thought there'd be a little gap through. That's fine. That's fine. So we're moving around. This is telling us that we've got our fate shard, I think, up there. We need to go to the west now, don't we? The leaf icon represents the element life that I selected. You don't really know any spells, so it currently doesn't do anything. Okay, that sounds good to me. Okay, so we will go north of the building. Currently, it's pretty calm. There's no stresses. There's a nice ocean or wind sort of noise in the background. I doubt you guys can pick that up. I think it's on max volume as well. Yeah, it is. It's okay. It's ambience. Just imagine a nice breezy noise. It really does add a lot, though. What? Okay, right. We needed to go west. Can you go in and then out of it? Or am I going the wrong way here? Alright, yeah. Due to time, I'm happy for a mild spoiler here, 8BitSkull Dev. Am I wrong to come back into this building? Music sounds good. You are wrong. Okay, let's go back out. I imagined that we came out there, right? And then we got brought back to life, so it doesn't make sense to go back into there. Okay, so we need to find a way. I'm get like, can you walk? You can't. Oh, you okay? So there's edges of the map there, and west is that way. I was going east. Crikey! What happened to my brain? Okay. Honestly, the amount I mistake west and east. I know the right way. Never eat shredded wheat. It's the best way to remember, right? But Ark is still in there whining about being corrupted. Okay, that's good. Okay, who are you? Hello. The woman cranes her neck to one side and grins menacingly. Don't worry, I am your savior, the one that will cleanse the world of evil, you will see, and you will kneel before me. Okay, did you speak to the Duke by any chance? She laughs, nodding vigorously. Yes, yes, he's giving me power, tremendous power. She raises her arms, purple sparks flickering over her fingertips. Her crazed face turns to shock, and she begins to convulse. She stutters before dropping to the ground in a horrifying display of bone snapping into new alignments of flesh rippling into a new composition. You watch her transform into a monster. Oh my god, oh, she's beautiful. Hello. Okay. Right, how do I attack you? I don't know how. Okay, you hurt me. I know that much. I have my sword. I don't know how to attack. Okay, right click. Look at that. Okay. So one thing you'll notice there, I remember this in mechanic quality. Oh, it looks a bit sad now. Oh, so one thing you notice is the enemies only move when you move. See, so it's a nice kind of like, you get to think about things, which I think was quite an original experience. And even attacking, like, time passes as well as you click. So it's not just you moving, it's you performing an action, I guess, right? So this is sparkling, this mailbox. Did it sparkle? I imagined it. I swear it sparkled. Oh, we can go into houses, though. Look at these little loading screen tips. Okay, right. Are you going to be corrupted as well? The man looks at you anxiously. You enter his house. You're not one of them, are you? Ever since the boy visited here, people have been acting strange. I hid when they knocked on the door. I had a bad feeling about it all. His voice trembles, and he starts fighting tears. My brother, he turned into some sort of monster. A plant spewing green spores. My wife is acting strange too. They both spoke to that evil-looking man. Duke Camisalt. Yeah, that's his name. We have to get out of here. His dormant court is in ruins, but Terroir is nearby. It might still be safe. Take me with you. The man is interrupted by a violent rupture in the ground. He is swallowed by the chasm appearing in the floor before he can even scream. What? Ah, he's gone. And we had a plan. So you got little sparkles on things. Can I hit them? I was going to say the sparkles have to be intentional. Sparkle means destructible. I'm guessing we don't want to go into... I mean, let's steal all his possessions now. He's as good as gone, right? Okay, it doesn't hurt me at least. Let's avoid that. Yeah. I'm good. Well, I noticed the sparkles, right? The sparkles are important. You don't want to try and hit everything in the game, so it's great to have a tell. So this is giving me XP. I get XP for smashing ship up. That's what we're learning this far. Okay, you feel overwhelmed. Valka is dead. Arg is on the brink of corruption. Master Slovo has been hauled off to stand trial for crimes he did not commit. The world is crumbling, and it is up to you to save it, with no help or guidance. Where do you even begin? If you feel stuck or don't know what to do, the answer is almost always explore more. Your actions will open up paths for some quests, and block off others entirely. Keep exploring and gaining experience. When you're ready to face the end, head to Dorman Court and take on the consumption magic of the Scorned and Duke Camasalt. Okay, so your actions open up paths for some quests, block off others. Okay, so choice matters there. Okay, keep exploring, gain experience. Okay, that sounds good to me. Use the roadside to see where west is. Look, so this I assume is a path north, but I did see there's some ugly boys. Oh, I like the sprite work on that. The ambience noise in this game is lovely. Okay, so they... okay. Let's take these on. I'm really liking the kind of prediction of like them moving. Okay, I'm guessing. Oh. Okay, they went in one shot. So they were doing like an AoE thing, which is a different thing to kind of keep in mind, which is nice. Yeah, the bird noises and everything, super cool. Right, what's going on here? Are they corrupted? Is this what this means? Alright, we're gonna try. Ooh. Oh, okay. We need to kind of split them up. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to have to chop them down like that, aren't I? I've become a brutal murderer, but I just really needed to go inside of this tent, right? Oh, I could have gone down that way, but there's a box next to the tent. Is the box sparkly? Yes, it is. Give me some XP. I can't even go in the tent. I really wanted to check it out. So that's what I like about this mechanic. It's like when something happens you don't know what it is, you can just stop and go, right, okay. It's shooting this stuff out. I'm guessing this is reflects like what type of magic it is, because there's certain magics that are better against each other, I guess. 2 lives wasted, you can't even enter the tent. Tell me about it. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Okay, look at this. The sprite works nice. Okay, I can talk to these. That's nice. The hover over helps you know, are they friend or foe? So is my alignment green? Is that what we call it? There's the road sign. Northwest. Okay, so we need to go up north to go to the Chroniclery. We don't want to go to the southeast, even though I'm pretty much going that way. I'm just curious, alright? I'm an explorer. The 2 men stand, appraising you with skeptical expressions. What's this? The taller one says. You think you're a hero? Ha! The shorter one says. You're still fighting maggots. The taller one scoffs. Maggots! He's gone really high pitched all of a sudden. The short one, who are you guys then? They puff up with pride. We're the heroes of Ort. The tall one begins. We're heading to Dorman Court to defeat Duke Camasalt and Consumption. You'll see. You'll see! The small one repeats. Is this the small one? No. We'll do it as the small guy's voice. Best you turn your back. It's too dangerous for the likes of you. Leave it to the real heroes. Alright. Well, we've been told. We've been told. That's the game's way of trying to tell us not to. I still want to go that way. I am happy to do voice acting anytime you want. But my trouble is I always forget how I started the voice, so the consistency is one of the biggest issues. And there's always one character who sounds like Gollum, which is another problem. You know, copyright issues. Okay, changing music. And a big shout out, Watery Tar is the guy who made the music. Or I don't know if every bit of music, but definitely some of the music for this game. And yeah, he's a talented dude and a very nice individual as well. So you can check him out on Twitter as well, under the same alias. Okay. Ooh, look at this. Look at a little ship. Okay, hello. I think I remember you working on this bit. The little creature jumps as you approach. Is this meant to be a Lemmy? Hi, I'm Timmy. Hoi there. Step back. I have an entropic transducer, and I'm not afraid to use it. I'm a friend. The creature relaxes. Thank goodness. I was beginning to think this place was populated by nothing but mean, dim-witted ooze pukes. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Brex, first class navigator of the Exalted Gyronauts, 2nd Cog Division. The creature puffs out his chest, clearly proud over his rank. Wow. Okay. How did the ship get here? I've flown it, of course. Oh, wow. Granted, our technology is probably quite alien to you, and it must seem like magic. Alright. Why are you here? Our seismic monitoring units detected some extraordinary subsurface tremors mounting from this very region. I've been here on a handful of expeditions before, so I was sent to investigate. I didn't get very far, though. No, not at all. Shot down in a manner most inconsiderate. I was approaching from the north, bearing towards the origin of the tremors, a little bit south of here. Oh gosh, this voice. I was cruising at lower altitude when I went past the giant black tower. It's starting to sound like the first guy now as well, isn't it? Curiosity got the better of me, and I got too close, then bam! A white lightning from the top of the tower struck my ship, knocked out my prismatic aether coil, and my navigator to boot. I managed to crash land here. Okay, can I help you somehow? Oh, he's got a note. Wish me luck, chat. Okay. That would be most splendid if I could help. If I could help them, that's what you're saying, right? Take this prismatic aether coil and get it repaired for me, please. It's not damaged badly. Any blacksmith here with the right tools ought to be able to straighten it out. I pray. In return, I offer to ferry you to some locations not easily accessible on foot. From a bird's eye view, I can assure you that they will be very interesting to explore for an adventure of your stature. Very interesting indeed.
Is this the start of your voice acting career?
Hello there, Mega RGJ. This is how you develop bad throats. We still got to decide. I saw him, right? And I was going to do Smeagol voice. And then I realized it was like a... For me, I don't know if it was intended, but the hoi, it felt very much like the... what do you call it? Undertale. Temmie. So I felt it needed a bit of a silly voice as well, right? Okay. Let's close. Right, so we've now got a kind of a submission, at least, that if we can find a blacksmith, that will help us. Okay. Like, does that cause badness to us? Like, we can't fall in. Can we hit it? No. I wonder if we can repair the earth or like the... Like, cleanse the land or something at some point. That's fine. Let's keep exploring. I like that I can hold to move around. And that it's nice and reactive. Thank you for subscribing, by the way, Mega. I appreciate it, dude. Alright. Oh, that looks... what is that? Okay, it's just some stones. Just some stones, he says. Okay, this looks like a... for me, my first impression of this was like an old, like, Camelot-y... I don't want to say army, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. It'll tell us what it is, I guess. Oh, no. So west we can go to Castle Mortifax. The rest of the mausoleum. Oh, we need to go to the mausoleum, right? I love that there's all these places. Like, that's for me personally. I'm really interested in, like, oh, there's all these different places like that we could go to if we want to. So, okay, are we able to go into here? I'm not 100% what it is. This isn't where we need to go. Okay, these are friendly though. Oh no, it is where we need to go. I apologize. We didn't need... No, so my sister got put in the mausoleum, if that's how you say that word, by the way. But we needed to come to the fancy library, the chroniclery. Chroniclery. I can use that. Okay, let's go and talk. Hello. A stern-looking woman stands near the entrance of this ancient library. Her eyes are clear. I'm just... In my mind, I'm like, oh great, what voice have I got now? Her clear eyes appraise you and find yourself softening your footsteps as to not disturb the silence. Welcome to the chroniclery. Her voice is a whisper, yet clear as crystal. The oldest and greatest collection of books in all of Ort, or at least it used to be. A combination of poor stewardship and a lack of appreciation for the written word is my inference. This used to be the most impressive collection of books in the world. Well, I suppose it still is, she scoffs. But it is a shadow of its former glory. Did you write it all yourself, by the way, 8BitSkull? You do have a good way of writing, in my opinion. Can I look around? Feel free to visit the chroniclery at any time. No, it's going back into the other guy. We've got to stop it. It's no lisp. No lisp. Read the book. Read the books, but be careful. Some of the terms are ancient and fragile, and do not think for one instance of taking any away without permission. I'm the warden of these books. I may not have any armies at my disposal, but, mira curia, mark my words, I will hunt you down and end your existence. Okay, I'm guessing that's like the god or whatever of this, right? All characters have a lisp. No, good writing, good writing. Okay, is there anything I can do to assist? Is a sister of mine. Oh, so there's not one of the sisters. Okay, so she is like a follower of that type of sister, I guess, right? And we are, in our own way, a bit of a different story, but we are like entwined with the life-based one. Okay, what can we do? You look like an adventurer. Perhaps even an astute enough to appreciate the value of the written word. She smiles, just after I complimented topbraj's writing skills. If you find any books on your travels, bring them back here. Is there a reward? There's not much I can offer. I found a repository of old documents, maps, sea charts, musical notes, strange old scrolls. I would happily trade those in exchange for any books you may find. Here, why don't you take this? It's a map of the world. Supposedly it has magic properties. How does it work? A thirst for knowledge is admirable. See these faded pins on the map? She pauses for a moment, a look of confusion on her face. That's strange. The pin next to the academy isn't faded anymore, but you're supposed to need to have magic to use the map. But I do have magic. Oh, she looked. Well then, the notes accompanying the map state that it can be used to instantaneously travel to certain fate spikes previously visited by the caster. That would be very useful indeed for someone with the magical capabilities to exploit it. Okay, we know what a fate spike is, like got told to us earlier. Okay, so down here we now have our map, which will allow us to fast travel around. Okay, great. So I'm guessing we don't need to find books in here, but we do get to smash. Look, oh, come on, she just told us that this place has gone to ruin, and we're going in here and smashing up crates. Come on. I meant to be okay, it's all worth it. I got boots. I got booty boots. Stuff your library. I got boots. Right, I'm looking for where my character was again. It wasn't settings, quest log. Well, I feel I've gone here before, but now I can't think how I get to that part of the menu. Oh, you got to go at the spikes. Yes, that's why I can't find it. Yeah, thank you. But I can fast travel to one now. Handy. The old man stands, absent-mindedly stroking his beard as he pursues a stack of dusty tomes. Well met, young one. Let us converse. He pauses to put a finger over his mouth and nods to the chroniclerian. Quietly. He's been told off for talking loudly before, hasn't he? What do you know about magic? Large glimmering spikes. We got that. How can I improve my magic? Oh, more. Okay. I think it's great that there's depth, but in the nature of the stream today that we won't have too long to play it, I may need to try and what I'd normally do if I was playing this normally is I kind of exhaust all the options. I like to kind of see everything there is, but we may need to just be a little bit more skimmy with some of it, unfortunately. The old man scratches his beard, thinking for a moment. Learning additional spells would be useful, but I could not begin to know how to achieve that. Perhaps there are some old records in Tarkumendo, the Black Tower in the north. Otherwise, perhaps you might find some equipment with magical properties that might improve your abilities. Theoretically, you could align your resonance with a certain energy patterns. This could increase your power as you gain momentum. That is hypothetical, of course. You would need some sort of instrument to achieve it. Alright. Okay, thank you for the chat. I'm imagining we're gonna have a nice little chat with them. We'll do one option with them and then we'll get out of here and go and explore. Cool environments though. Let's not. I mean, is that like a secret door? It doesn't look. It looked like an obvious door. We'll have a look now. The woman sits reading a dusty tome, a look of confusion on her face. What are you reading? It's this old book on magic. She shows you the cover. Tabula Arcana. Abridged version for the novice practitioner. She reads, as is customary, wizards prefer to expend as little effort as possible. The imbuing process as it relates to the status effects cast on structures generated by the wizard is a perfect example of this. Expend a little effort. Imbuing. Okay, so you can imbue things. She furrows her brow. It says that the wizards could cast spells to put creatures to sleep or to slow them down, that sort of thing, but it implies that the wizards were lazy and instead would create structures like turrets and totems and walls. Then they would cast spells like sleep or slow on those structures, which would imbue them with the ability to inflict those things on other creatures, so the wizard wouldn't have to. Okay, interesting. So you kind of enchant things or imbue them with power, and you can use that strategically or combatively, or to heal you maybe, and stuff like that. Okay. Let's go through the secret door. Oh, so it stairs up. We've come. What is that? That's a smouldering red chest. I feel... Are we meant... this feels like stealing. The chest does not budge. You do not have much mind coins to offer. Oh, okay. So you need to give it coins to open it. Is this just a fire? There, that is a fire. Okay, so we know that there's something fancy up here. I don't know what mind coins are. We're very close to leveling up, though. Okay, well, we'll keep that in mind. I'll tell you what, can we use our fast travel now? So we are here. Well, I don't know if we want to definitely go back, because then we got to walk the same way. I'm wondering whether we should go to... Let's find another one first, and then we can switch. We can go travel between them. I think that sounds great. This map looks excellent as well. Like we just done a tiny little region. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Let's get at it. Oh, oh. Such a curious explorer. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Out we go. So I think if we go up to the courts, I got a feeling that's not a great place for us, but we'd also learned that there's a black tower to the north. I mean, we could probably look at the map now and kind of see. Can we drag around on this map or zoom in and out? Or no, I don't think so. Okay, mysterious. Okay, yeah, we got told about this place. Castle Mortifacts. Well, our sister was going to be in the... Or maybe it's not on the map. Maybe it's just a... Or maybe, I mean, she's dead. Maybe we don't need to go and visit our sister. Temple of the Fates. That looks cool. Some bogs. All these awesome places. Okay, so same name for places over here at least. Okay. And we don't know what that is either. I'm assuming it's very nearby, directly to the west. Okay, yeah. No. That I was curious to put a top up there, and if it's nearby, I think I would like to explore that. So I just thought it may not have an icon on the map because it might just be here. We can level up. We're so close to leveling up. Let's avoid that. Thank you for the follow. Are we leveled up? Do I click it? How do I level up? Maybe it's at the spikes? I don't know yet. Okay, we're going... I felt bad killing these people last time. But it... oh yeah, I was just going to say, is it going to attack me? It definitely did. Uh-oh, it's going to... my health is pretty low. I need to be aware of that. Alright. Oh. Repeated use of the same spell makes it more costly. That's interesting. What? I'm back here? Ah, there you are, child. You took long enough. She chides. I set up this area for you. I gathered the spells I could find from the days long gone. Many are missing, but there should be enough. Simply go to a spell and select it to learn it. Once you have enough experience to learn another, I will draw you back here. So that's why we came here, it's because we leveled up. And the barriers will disappear as you learn more. We need to protect your fledgling mind from the more powerful spells you see. Okay, alright. You're nice to me now, eh? Okay, so we have... I don't know if I... Can I get through, or is I have to take that one? I have more choice up here, though. I'd like to know what they are. Maybe when I click on it once, it'll tell me. Okay. Bolts of arcane power are the combat staple of a competent magician's arsenal. These deadly projectiles burst on impact, dealing damage to any creature close enough. Alright, let's go for it. Most have stopped worshipping the sisters, but we know. So is it next time you go into a building, you go in? I guess that works. Okay. We got some shinies. How? Right, now this. So it costs me health to use it. Okay, how do I change what I'm using? Oh, mouse wheel works? Can I use it out here as well? That's nice. Okay, so I don't have to go up to it each time. Because does it cost me health to hit this? I don't know. I'm gaining health because I'm picking up health. Oh yeah, well, what if I just hit? No, it doesn't, right? Whereas if I was to shoot fire... Yeah, I lost. But this is what's awesome about the game. The mechanics in that. Did that blow up things that... Uh-oh, I shot two of them. Okay, you can see the area of effect there at least. Not unless I have the accursed elemental sword. Well, I'm guessing I'm not near that, am I? Alright, well, that's cool. Quick spell. Okay, I'm guessing... Is that how you click? Oh, you can click between them. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Let's go. Okay, so it's just to the west from here. Uh-oh. No. Who saw that dodge? What the... Get out of here! I blasted it. Now, I'm getting some... These are mind coins, I'm guessing. So it's based on the type of enemy that it is, I assume. I'm not too sure if there's any negative to... Let's see, this is green, right? I mean, I'm using my own health to do it at the moment, but it feels good, so why not, alright? Although, to be honest, if it's just the little green boys, we should just slice it, right? Little green boys don't take much. Oh, coin drops are based on the damage alignment used to kill things. Okay, so I will get green if I kill stuff. Okay, that's not... So what does this... I guess I don't get any for, like, the sword-based stuff, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that because that's not a alignment-based damage. Okay, so we've got an empty house here. Let's do what we do in every house. Smash ship up. There'll be, like, wanted posters soon, right? Local man destroys every building he comes across. Poor town. As if it's not been through enough. Alright. What's going up over here? The man stands gazing at the sky, head craned as far as it can go. You look up as well, taking in the sight of Ord's many moons arranged in the familiar pattern. What are you looking at? I'm looking at the moons, he says dreamily. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to wander on one of them? Every footprint, the first ever. You stand in silence for a while, both dreaming about what it'd be like to wander on one of the moons. Suddenly, one of the minor moons erupts in a silent explosion of black and purple. The man gasps in astonishment. The sky is streaked with bright balls of flame, long tails of thick smoke trailing behind them. One by one, they strike the ground all over Ort. You both duck for cover as the last one crashes nearby. The man gets up excitedly. Did you see where it landed? If you find it, bring it to me. I like that. Like, that wouldn't have happened if I didn't go and talk to this then. Hello there, Ravavir. Yeah, we had an interview with topbraj, or 8BitSkull dev, as you can see in chat, about him and game dev and the making of this game as well. And yeah, it's my first time checking it out. I've been planning to try and do these streams before where I play the games of the devs from Twitch for a while. So it's been really nice getting a chance to play them. This one is cool. I'm enjoying so far. It feels like a game that's going to need more time to fully kind of explore it. But at the same time, I'm enjoying it. And we tend to... I meant to finish in a quarter of an hour, but I'll definitely probably play for another 45 minutes, I'd imagine, at this point. So, okay. Can I throw a coin in the wishing well? Huh? Why'd you do this to me? Alright, well, so the Welsh guy... We need to go and find some moon segments. And it seems like this corruption is taking over not just Ort, but the moons of Ort. I mean, can we cross the water? Ah, blast. Okay, I was going to fireball that one, but... Yeah, the environments are nice. The music is nice. The environmental, like, ambient audio is super lovely. Like, it feels genuinely just, like, chilled. Even though there's, like, some, you know, some serious tones to the story. It sets the environment... yeah, I think it's just... It helps you embed yourself in the environment. I make notes of all the BS Dan tries to do in games. What, like the things you don't expect players to do, but he tries? I know I'm biased, but I'm really proud of everyone's work on the parts of the game that take a few hours to get into. I think it's worth exploring. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's one of those where I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd like to play it, but part of me knows that after stream, I've then got to make that commitment to play a game. And then part of me feels I want to stream it. And then for me to stream, I feel like I need to do it for a few hours. And then I don't feel like I got a few hours. And I make problems for myself. But anyway, look, there's someone on the floor. Okay, these look a little more tricky. Trixie Hobbit. Are we going to give it a chance? No. Kablamo! We took it out, didn't we? Let's change weapon. I guess one thing I would like... Can I change weapon? I can. Great. I was just going to say I have to go from clicking to mouse wheel to change, but you can use 1 and 2 as well. So I'm good with that. Like throwing your money in the well. Oh yeah, it's little things that cross players' minds, and when you don't always expect them to be implemented, but when they are, you kind of get that really... Like, oh, that's great sort of feeling, you know? All right, so anyone who's just joined, so the enemies only move when we take actions, right? And also when they have line of sight. So we can sneak around for a bit. This one has seen us already, though. So we're going to switch to fireball. We're going to shoot it this way. And then we're going to... hopefully it'll only take one. We'll follow it. Yeah. And we'll see how they fight melee. Oh, they go down in one anyway. Okay, so it takes health. So the magic in this game is you need to consume something in order to use it, right? And so you don't want to just constantly use power. And also it gets more costly to use the same spell repeatedly. I don't know if that's true if I've only got one spell. Hello, wonderful Natalo. You like the camera drag? Yeah, how it follows you a bit slower. Yeah, it does actually feel really nice, actually. I've not thought about it. Thank you, Herr Feltier, for pointing that out. And cool, Bizarro. I'm glad that you have some benefit from hearing someone playing a game and kind of thinking aloud as they play it, you know? I obviously like talking about myself and what I'm thinking, so it works out nice that someone else gets benefit. Does this smash? Okay, I worried that was going to be dangerous. Alright. Judo chop! Okay. So, because they're purple, I'm assuming these things are evil. These are like the part of the... Oh, what was it called? I forgot what it was called. I like how you have all this information down here so we can see we do 80 damage. Can you... You can't read more. I can't scroll up. Maybe page up and page down? No. Okay. It'd be interesting to see how much my fireball does in contrast to that. Okay, so this looks like they came and just killed this restaurant owner, which is pretty sad. So this isn't a feedback stream, so it's less of a review stream, but more about the developer and the chat that we had at the start of the stream. So we had around a 45-minute interview with 8BitSkull dev. We had a lovely chat. about game dev and this game and a few other things as well. And then it's just about playing it as a first-time player. So I will commentate on some things that I find nice, or like, oh, how do I do this, or my thoughts, but it's not so much about giving feedback, if that makes sense. People in chat are welcome to say what they think, but keep in mind it's a published game where they're not looking for improvements or ideas of what they could do in the game. They're working on a new project now. Okay, there's an archer. Things got real. We will chop you. I took 125 damage. Okay, he took 3 hits. We need to work out this. We're going to work out how much my fireball will hit this boy. 100. He resisted 25 though, so he had some fire resistance. I'm not sure. Maybe just general magic resistance. Okay, it's fine. We got XP, right? More XP means we can go and learn more stuff. I realize I'm going north. I'm probably not going towards the mausoleum now. These guys are pure consumption. That's the word I was looking for. The purple thing, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a point. If I'm honest with you, you're meant to be able to see more of the screen than you are. Thank you for pointing that out. Apologies. Yeah, the bottom of it was cut off. I didn't really realize. I was on my dev mode. So I can show you what's behind the face. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Welcome to the stream. I'll leave the face up, but for now I can just turn it off so you can see what's there. Okay, so you have a options and a close menu there. But yeah, this helps you see the log that we were talking about, the HP and all that. Thank you for pointing that out. I was on the wrong display mode. Oh, I'm not on a break. Banana dog. No. Hold on. I can't even remember where he is. There he is. Okay, we got rid of Banana Dog. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so I am a murderer, but they started shooting at me first. You'll notice I saw the arrow and I knew things were serious. So I want to look at the map. Does M take me to map? It doesn't. Okay, we will click. So where am I? Does it show me where I am? This is the area. The Stargazer. Okay, that makes sense. So we can keep trying to go up this way, but I'm not too sure we're getting anywhere. I pressed M again. Oh, hang on. What was that down? What was this down the bottom? Oh, this is just like an island offshore. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see if we can find a way down this way. So this was like the restaurant-y thing that we went into, right? Oh, the bridge. Let's go to the bridge. There's an enemy down at the side of it, but we're also looking for maybe a path to the west if we can. Ooh, there's the stone that fell as well. Okay, we need to get through. Can we do anything interesting like burning trees? No, okay, that's fine. We will take you on with a sword. Okay. We hit you once. Hit you twice. 3 times. Oh, gosh. How much did you hit me? 75! He's a crab as well. I feel we have to finish you with a sword now. Lovely little sprite work. Like, the death animation was nice. It's only a few frames, but it felt good. Okay, these boys are fine. We don't mind these. Okay, that's... I like how you get that impression that it's, like, pulling in the life from around it and that. Yeah, it's kind of like a tile, like a map, if you will, like, or a board game map. You can go off of it if there's a road going off of it. You can go off of it. I'll try and show you when the opportunity comes up next. Okay, let's first go and, as much as this is interesting, we also need to just smash this up. We need to find a blacksmith as well. But first off, okay, we got the moon fragment. Wonderful. Smashing everything up. Don't mind us. Alright, what's in here then? The Thorns equipment affects... didn't have enough time to read. That's fine. Okay, so... we need 10 green. We don't have 10 green. Because we're just using I'm guessing our fire is this, or is it red? The arcane thing that we got. Okay, let's have a chat. Gah! The elder man exclaims as you enter his house. What makes you think you can just barge in like this? Don't touch anything. Oh, I mean, that's a realistic. I mean, I just touched. You told me not to, and then I just did it. This doesn't align with me being a good person, does it? We can't quite get there yet because we don't have the 10 green. Okay. I'll be great. Yeah, because this I thought I would, but I need to learn these spells, and I'm not too sure. Maybe the choices when we level up are based on this. Joke's on you, old man. Lock your door. I feel a bit bad doing this though, but I think I need to in order to level up. So forgive me, sir. I wouldn't have done that. These screens, by the way, with the loading tips, I think they're good because I think there's a lot of depth in this game that people won't get to in the first hour. You know, and so giving little snippets of like, oh, what, there's totems, you can imbue things, and like that stuff is good. Okay, so we can go back to the Stargazer now. From previous experiments, we can't really interact with these things. I'm gonna try and just curious. No, we can't cause it damage. That's fine. All right. Off we go. Yeah, magic is an aspect. So when you level up, you go back to the... yeah, you just saw the fireball. So we have basically been... we met... what's her name? The old mother or something of... who basically has like 3 daughters who are the kind of gods that are worshipped in this. And we had to choose one to kind of like go with us. And so we took the life, the sister of life. And so that is our kind of alignment. But every time we level up, the old mother kind of tries to show us more. So we get taken to this place that she's made in this kind of ultimate dimension-y, void-y place. And she allows us to learn spells at a kind of progressive pace so that we don't destroy our mind. Because we learned magic kind of accidentally. Safari City, hello, hello. Ah, really, 8BitSkull. Okay, that's good. This game is pretty... Natlo, how you doing, mate? We haven't spoken for a while. Okay, this is hay. Can I set hay on fire? Well, that would have been nice. I would have liked to. I don't know how it would have been used, though, to be honest with you. Right, where's the Stargazer? He's up here, isn't it? We found your moon fragment, good sir. Well, there's corruption as well. So there's this guy who's been offering people magical power, but it's this purple corruption and magic. But then we got thrown a crystal was thrown by this grandmaster person to try and help someone who'd been corrupted, but it came to us instead, and that gave us this kind of connection. Been and am very busy with work. Well, if you ever need a chat, Natalo, please do reach out. I'd happily have a chat with you anytime, mate. The man remains transfixed on the sky, ignoring the world crumbling around him in case he might miss the demise of another moon. Have you found any fragments? If you do, bring them to me. I have found one, so do I have to click it? The man accepts the moon fragments. Reverently. Still hot? Here, take this. Bring me more if you find them. What are you giving me? Okay, so it's just a way to... Okay, I get that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to try and find our way to a new waypoint so that we can get to our inventory, because I got some slippers I want to put on. We found some booty boots earlier. I wanted to find the mausoleum. Oh, hang on, what? Stargazer's here. Why does that say Stargazer 2? Oh, are these all the moon fragments? Maybe it's related to the quest the blue stuff is. Indeed, Herr Faultier. Indeed. It's a nice thing. So, 8BitSkull Dev is the developer of this, so you're welcome to ask some of the questions regarding his design and that. Oh, however, he is also semi-looking after his child at the moment, so he may not always be present in the chat. Just nothing to see here, Ilal. You're correct. Just trying to set the world ablaze. Okay. So we're not too sure where the mausoleum is, because basically me and my sister got killed. That's what it was, sorry. We both got killed but because I'd caught that crystal, it meant that I went to this old mother kind of godly kind of person who had asked me to choose like an alignment, and then I came back, but when I'd come back it was weeks later and my sister's already been kind of put in the dead people place, the morgue if you will. Okay, did we have a way to go up? I think we did, so let's carry on going that way. Currently bouncing on here. And you gotta get those glutes nice and warm, eh? Topbraj booty. Okay, so we've got a little green boy over here. We're going to switch to our sword. They only take one hit, and we're going to whack it. Oh, so the other mechanic I'm not demonstrating right now is that like things only move when you're taking an action. So if you see an enemy... Ah, this seems like the place we needed to go. Yes. Sad. Will we find our sister here? So just to show, I think if I go off here... Yeah, that's how the map works for her who was asking earlier. So it's if it looks like there's a path leading off, then you can normally travel off of that tile, if you will. You can see your grave if you look closely. What does it say? It didn't look like it had legible text on it. Okay, that's her. Oh, that was a joke. Oh, sorry. I'm really good at interpreting jokes, as you just saw. The world map was made by Nettleflap. Oh, I know that name. Are they a viewer? Oh, that's cool. Okay, it feels a bit wrong to be smashing stuff up in here. I still tried. Do you blame me? Okay. The man standing in front of you inspires a strong sense of nausea. His skin is untouched by the sun and has a sickening purple tinge. You spot a couple of large bones protruding from his rucksack. "Greetings," he says with an ingratiate. What? Oh my gosh, your language, it's impressively difficult. Ingratiating smile? Okay. What is it on your back? "I am a collector of bones, old and new, large or small." He pauses to grin for a moment. "They are all unique. Every bone tells a story. There's something so uncouth about the living. Lies, bias, pride. Bones may speak very little, but what they do say is always the truth." His smile fades once he's done speaking. It had to be. He was all slimy and weird, right? We had to go. Let's go and talk about the sister, shall we? I definitely need a drink if I'm... Oh, I've got like no water left. I'll do anything if you help me bring my sister back. Anything? He hisses menacingly. No, you freak. Yes. "I do not belong here. There is a place on another plane where bones walk. That is where I wish to be. I have conducted many experiments, none of them fruitful." Well, what do you need? "I need the bones of a royal. That is the key. They will speak the words to open the door for me." "When I get to the other side, I can arrange to bring your sister back. The true king resides there. He has the power." Okay, where can I find the royal bones? Like, my throat is hurting more, so he's getting less Gollum and more just like, ah. "In the crypts of the castle Mortifex. I went there myself, but the king wouldn't even see me. The day when his tongue rots cannot come soon enough. How old is he anyway?" he ponders. "In any case, Castle Mortifex lies southwest of here." Okay, cool. So it's given us like... I like how it's quite an organic quest system. Very story driven. And very much like I don't have to go and do that immediately. Just slay the king. I mean, I realise that I'm quite open to doing it, but then he is a king, and this is a weird creature. That's my sister, though. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay. So, we've got a few things now. Let's have a look at the old map. we're still here. This is the castle where we could go and get the bones to bring back. Okay, we're up for that. But I feel that I also... I don't know if we can. Let's just keep going west at this point. I do sometimes want to press that to close the map. Just that's something I'd be aware of as well. Just from a game design point of view. Woo! I like that. That didn't have to happen, but it did, and I liked it. Did we have a way to go more south here? Let's have a little look. Okay, so we've got this. Is this going to get like any cave in or anything? I do like being rewarded for like exploring. And so yeah, when games do include that, it is a nice feeling. But if you don't do it enough, then it makes me feel like I don't want to keep exploring. Because it's a time sink, right? Oh, so we're back here. This is where the restaurant thing was, right? Okay. Hang on, so wasn't this where we fought the dudes? Oh, it is. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot it looked different in this context. I think I didn't come straight up, did I? Okay. Let's go. We need to kind of go. I mean, what are our quests? We've got quests here, right? So we have bones to get Stargazer, conquering the skies. We need to find a blacksmith, and any books we find. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's see how this hint thing works, because I've clicked on it. I've done this bit, right? So there are many ways to bring back the none of the easers. Valka's soul is likely in the Hollowing Plains. Acquiring a portal to the Hollowing Plains from the Chroniclery, then access a dimension from the Temple of the Fates. You need a guide, such as a spirit or a magical eye. Alternatively, the Bone King in the Underworld might make you a deal. If you see this, speak to the Bone Collector in the mausoleum a short distance. Oh man, I love how there's multiple ways to do it. I really love how this hint system works as well. Because it allows you to try and naturally find this stuff. But if you're like, you don't get it, or you're a bit impatient, you have this. I really like that. Finally, perhaps the mad scientists of the Sorrow Rootlands in the east have a machine that... So there's like 3 different ways to do it. Alright, so I said I'd go towards the light, but I'm going to kill things and make a deal with the Lord of the Underworld bones and stuff. Don't judge me. So yeah, you'll notice the enemies don't move unless I move. And that is... or take an action. So that's one of the cool game mechanics in this as well. Okay, this will be tricky to... Uh-oh. Let's kill this before it spits again. Turn around. Thwack. Go us. Oh, more of these. Okay, we're going to use fire on these because these were not so... Oh, no. Okay, we got him. He dropped the sword! Give me. We need to get to an inventory bit ASAP. I got sword and shoes to put on. There are too many dead ends that have not much more than a sparkling crate. Hey, if there's a sparkling crate, then that's something. But yeah, sometimes having a little bit more than that would definitely be a nice reward for the player. Okay, we can probably do these with just sword. So let's go to sword. This we can just dodge, thwack. So the inventory, you can only access your inventory within these fate shards. So we're going to try and get to one of these soon. We're going to change the fireball ready to take on these boys. Ooh. I think 3 was enough last time. Yeah, and 2 on this boy. Now can we let this green thing get close to it so we can get a combo? Oh, I thought it hits him in a range. I think he was just on the edge of that range. Okay. It's fine. We can get that green chest from that old guy now though. Okay, let's smash. No, get closer. No, oh, run away. Yeah, the combat is cool. I enjoy it. It's quite it's low stress, but oh no, it's stress, but like completely like you can pause the stress. And I really like that. Yeah, the waterfall is definitely one. Craw, hello, hello. Oh, I didn't know that either, Craw. Yes, well, nice to see you here. Uh-oh. Okay. So, any questions for the developer of the game? We did have an interview with them at the start of the stream. 8-Bit Dev is in the chat. Do feel free to ask anything. But at the moment, our mission, we have a few quests on the horizon. We're kind of... We're curious to do a few things. We want to go to this Castle Mortifax and kill the king, because, like, apparently we said we'd do anything to bring our dead sister back, naturally. And then... we want to level up to get more magic abilities and try and explore that element of the game as well. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so we're chopping down all the things at the moment. My health is pretty low, so I feel like I need to stop using my fireball unless I really need to at the moment. Is it worth going back to that house of the old guy? I can't really remember where the house of the old guy was. So, the Black Clover universe, you count as a royal when you amount a natural... you amount a natural mana... The amount of natural mana you have is higher than a noble, which is higher than a commoner. So it's basically like the royalty comes based on like how powerful you are, I guess, or how well you can control the magical elements or something. Not in this game, but in what you're saying. I don't know what Black Clover is. Never heard of it. Okay, so we killed a bunch of stuff. I don't think... was there a way out here? It's as we discussed earlier, these can... that's one thing I'm not 100% of. Does this mean I can... yeah, so anywhere where there's an edge, you can change to new tile area. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's avoid this. So slight... I compared it to Super Hot. You know, that whole, like, when you do stuff is when things move. It really... It's like... 20 times more engaging than it would be if it was just a hack and slash, I feel. So I think it's a cool decision to have made. Right, so we need to make a decision. Are we going to do 3 fireballs, which cost us around 8 life each? Or are we going to risk getting hit once for 75? Let's see if we can not get hit. Okay, yeah. Nice. I really could do with my new sword. Okay, I can see there's a little enemy coming, so we're going to switch to fireball. Shoot fireball. Oh, okay. I thought we'd get both of them, but that's fine. That's fine. Chop. Okay, we got him. Oh, we didn't take any damage. The crowd goes wild. Oh, it's a manga, is it? Okay. A nice shiny gold arrow outside of the edge would be slick for guidance. Oh, what, in terms of saying, like, you can move? You can move from, like, zone to zone, you mean by that, okay? So, anyone who doesn't know as well, so the stream today is me, what I call a Game Devs Twitch featured games, where I play games, published games by people who have streamed their game development on Twitch. But I also do, if you're working on a game, I do feedback streams, so every Monday I alternate it. So if you're interested, if you're working on a game and it's in a prototype phase, or you're still not kind of finished it, and you'd like me to play and give feedback to it, you're welcome to add it to that list. I think at the moment there's I think I just accidentally moved my camera. Whoops. At the moment there is maybe a couple on this. Oh, I'm not showing you the right thing. This is the form you'd fill out. Apologies. I haven't showed you the right form here. Let me just get the sheet up so people can see what I'm on about. Alright. Okay, so there's 2 games here. So that means next Monday I'll be playing those 2 games. But the 2 weeks after that, I'll be free to play more games. So if you are working on a game or know anyone who would want any feedback, do feel free to let them know. If we start running dry games, I'll start trying to post on some of the Discords. I haven't really tried publishing, promoting this at all at the moment. So, yeah. Hello, also Booksnail. Thank you so much for the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here, as always. The pink tail. You've got to 12 months. It's a year. You do have the pink tail now. Wonderful. It's good to see. I forgot all those silly pig horse colours. They're still semi see-through, aren't they? I didn't even update them. I need to fix that up. Weird Lol, thanks for hanging out. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Lovely to see you. Okay, let's continue. So it says that there's a shard up there, right? I don't know. Are we at a point where I should just try and get to the shard? Because I've got like a new sword and new boots and stuff. So I feel like I'm gonna try, but it's gonna take me back, you see. Okay, we'll head towards, I think there was a shot. Whoa, look at that one! That creature looks amazing. And he shoots massive projectiles that go really high. Oh my gosh, those shadows were so valuable there. Sorry, you also said they're little symbols that show up on the edge of the screen, but only show up when you're far from the edge. Okay, that's cool. Your NPC, what, did you make that one? Watery Tart. Watery Tart is the composer for this as well. Ooh, so this we can attack. There's a purple enemy in there. But we've got a Watery Tart to defeat. A reference image of you to draw this. Oh, it looks sad when you kill it. I mean, most things are not very happy about being killed. Blast, that was by the... Okay, never mind. I'm not going to loop around to kill that now. That's fine. So we are trying to get to the next fate shard. Ooh, enemy up here. Ooh, look at these. Okay, so they do like nature damage, if any. Uh-oh, he spotted me. Oh no, they all know about me now. Okay. Maybe we'll fireball them because we don't understand. Are they charging like a... Okay, let's just shoot one in this direction. Oh my gosh, they go fast. They hit me for 150. What is this? That was horrific. 3 of them. I think I got... Did I get... I couldn't even see that one charging. Oh no, how far back am I? Do I just... No, it's not like you're taking me back. It's just this is where I spawn, right? Okay, at least that... But we've got a long way to go. But we can also reassess the situation now, right? Oh, we can actually get our inventory. Hopefully I've still got my bloody inventory. Go in here. Oh yeah, look at this. We've got a... faster attack rate by the looks of it. I don't know how... What's it? Okay, it takes less time to attack. I guess that would be... Mess with the bull, you get the horns. Yeah, well, that definitely illustrated that point. Shockwave when taking damage at low health. That could have helped. If I just wore my beautiful new boots. Oh no, did I delete it? Right click to drop. Oh, no. Get off the screen. How do I get off the screen? Close. Come here, boots. I want to wear you. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Let's close. And... right, yeah, let's work out where we're going then. So we were going to go to this place. The key... What's the core? I'm curious. No, I think we're not going to have time to do everything as much as I'm curious for it, right? So let's just try and go. Our objective will go and get into this place, try and get the bones, and take it back to the bone collector boy. That's our mission. If we get to the old man's house, we can trade in our green gems. I can't remember where the old man's house was. I don't think it was this, was it? No, that's fine. Oh, new enemies though. Oh, all the enemies have respawned. I'm down with that. I didn't mean to throw fire, but we did it. That's fine. I can be more careful with my health now as well. Okay, let's sword them now. I'm ready. I'm ready. Chop! What is that? I just discovered. Did I take... Oh, I took 125... Okay, I need to concentrate. I didn't realize I was being chased by a bunch of things. What's this? Great mantle. Equip it. Okay, we go. We need to go and equip this now. I guess we should probably literally just go back because it was really close. Right. I like the little icons to show you where things are. It is nice. Especially since... Oh, we leveled up. So this is what happens when you level up. When you next change, like, room or whatever, you go to the place where you learn new abilities, right? Okay, so we have a choice this time. But there's gates for the higher level skills. But this is where we get a bit of choice of how we want our character to be. So is this a heal? Okay, so what's this? Soul curses are blasts of magic which grip the spirit. As ceiling grows hot, scalding the target with a magical burn. Ikuria injects a terror which causes them to flee in fear. Shal Molak binds them to eternal bonds, causing them to rise to skeletons. Okay, so is it depending on your alignment? Life. Yeah. There we go. My alignment. So I'm Assi is who I work with. Scalding your target with magical burn, so I can burn them. Okay, let's leave that one for now. Let's see. So I do a burn. Conjure delusions infect the mind itself. So it makes the target believe it can only move slowly, as if in treacle. Okay, a slow is quite good if we were to be a ranged build. And body hex grips the limbs of the target, enchanting it in various ill effects. Okay, so otherworldly leeches to sap the strength and transfer it. Transfer it to me. So do I get stronger or do I get health? I am not sure. If I got health, I liked it more. Okay, it's cool though. I really like the choice. The slow may be handy for the balls. This one just seems like a bigger damage. Oh, but it costs health to cast. Yeah, that's another point. But it takes away their strength. So I don't know how long it lasts for. But if it means that I don't get hit for 125, I'm going to go with this. So we now have Leech. Costs 3 health. That's not too bad. Okay, and we were just going to go and get to the shard because we got a nice mantle. So what's the difference between Academy Close 1 defense? This is just status effect length. Is Leeches a status effect? It probably is. Okay, we're going to go with that. It generally seems better. Alright, let's go. We got an objective now. We'll try out some new abilities too. Don't think the enemies respawn just from going off the scene. It'll just be like if I die. Casting on a group of... Uh-oh. There's the leeches. Look at that. Look at my health I'm getting. I can just kite them now. Look at that. What are you doing now, suckers? Okay, it's going to hit me. Okay, we're going to change to sword, and then we're going to thwack them. We got it. I'm fine with that. I like the idea of kiting to regen a bit of health. So we can probably just go, like, a fireball these guys, and then we will get some leeches on them as well. Oh, I only went on the one, which is a shame. We will switch to sword and get a chop. Uh-oh. Oh, I ran off the map. I promise you I wasn't scared. Are they going to be there when I get back? Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is where, like, slowing would be useful. Okay, we're going to go straight for the leech if we can. We've got them both now, that's fine. We're going to switch to fire, get a fireball on that boy. And then while the other one's not close, let's chop him. Oh, we took 125 damage. Okay, we still took a lot of health, but we can regen it now, which is the nice thing. I just wanted a way to heal. Like, this might be a good opportunity to... If we can get him close. So let's try and kite him close. Drop that. Get out of range of him. Nice. Welp! Okay, this is getting a bit intense. Now let's try it again. Nice. Did I get hit? I don't know. We will try and chop him after this. Okay, stop. They can only move when we move, remember. That's the real nice strategy element of this. Damn it. Okay, I took a bit of health. It's still catching up. 50 damage. I probably leached more back, though. Did I? Who knows? So this boy, I'm wondering, could you exploit this a little bit? Could we just, like, whack that on him? Because, like, he poses no risk to us, right? So we can just walk back and forth and avoid this. Here we go. We got some healing stations, ladies and gents. That's perfect. Uh-oh. Don't get hit by after that cocky comment. You calling me a chicken? You can press spacebar if you want to advance time without moving. Thank you for that. I did not know that. Yeah. I see. That sounds good. Is this? Yeah, I think this is the way we go. We went. Yeah, we haven't found for our little Temmie character, have we? Not yet, anyway. We haven't found a blacksmith. It's all good. Okay, so last time we went up there, there's a little enemy here. Let's just sword this boy, shall we? Chop, chop. There's woodlands. There's the start. Hello. This boy charges, doesn't he? Oh, he jumps at you, he does. I'm trying to see, like, when he... Okay, there's a bit of a gap before he charges. I find it interesting that the AI has to be done in a way that it can... Like, turn-based, effectively, right? Oh, yes, I did read that earlier, 8-bit. That's good to actually know. So, does it tell you... Yeah, leeches 5 health now. So does that... When does that go down? That's what I'd be interested in, I guess. This was the staircase. We're looking for the old guy's house. Because there was a green chest that I wanted to go and have a look in. This was the restaurant, so it wasn't that. It says there's a house over here. It might be this way. I can't remember it off the top of my head. No, we're back here. That's fine. Let's just carry on. We have arrows as well here, right? Is it meant to reduce this strength? So we might get hit less as well if we do some leeches too. Okay. And then we'll go to sword. We'll chop and move. Chop. Oh, I got arrowed. Let's leech you. Okay, it goes up by 1 every time we use it. Ah, it resets at the fate. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you. So you're kind of encouraged to use your sword quite a bit as well. Oh, I could... You little swine! I couldn't avoid that. Alright. That made me sad. I'll kill some green bugs to make myself feel better. Okay, that builder was this. That was me taking some oh, okay, so it was more like story-based why it happens. Okay, I thought it kind of reduced their strength. That's a little bit of a shame, but that's okay. The leeching property is still super nice. Oh, I did not see you! Blast. Right, will we get some back here if we use the leech? So it took 7. How much are we getting back from it? How many times does it take? 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's now a point where it needs to be used on multiple to be worth it. Uh-oh, yeah, that was bad. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Did I get hit by that? I don't think I did. We can sort this boy now. I think we want to fire this by. Okay, he's down. This is good. Don't think we took damage doing that. Yeah, when you do get hit, it's quite a lot you take damage for. I'm wondering, will this hit if I manage to leech this boy? Damn it, I wanted to hit both of them to be worth it. I think we're most valuable just to kite this guy around at the moment. And we can finish him off in just a moment. Let's go back to the sword. I like how these change. So I can look up and press 1, 2, or 3 to know what to switch, and it changes based on what is equipped. So 1 will be what you're currently equipping. I don't know, it seems a little weird, but I actually like it. I feel it suits. Okay, let's go this way. This is almost where we died last time. Oh, he's coming right for me this time. Okay, let's play it safe because we've got to avoid stuff as well. Okay, and thwack. There we go. You. I think we managed to take you on. Oh, what? What? You. Okay. We need to just be careful here. When that one gets closer, we're going to leech it. Come on. It's a bit faster than you. Okay, leech, come in now. Okay, now we run. And hope that... Okay, that was because I was on low health. They did the shockwave thing. Crikey! They hit you hard, don't they? It's not worth a gamble, it feels. I'd rather... Okay, well... I don't think we're going to get enough health back off of this anymore. Unless we can get these close together. I'll probably take damage trying to get them close. Just like that. I'm not sure which bit hit me. It might have been the leech. I'm fine, whatever. My shockwave stuff is nice anyway. I'm down with that. Chop. Okay, we can go for this instead. Who's this hulky boy? Okay. He looks like he's going to be tough. Can we just sneak our way, please, sir? Please, sir. Oh, we're going to be very... Okay, so they still take a bit of damage, but yeah. The thing is, like, we're not going to have enough... We can't just spam fireball here. What's that? Why is there a fairy with them? Is he really that... Oh, there's bulls as well. No. Don't hurt me. I want to kill it, though. Maybe I can lure it over. Is it healing it? That boy's going to end me in one hit. Oh, this is not so good. How much health does it have? Is there a way for me to tell? I want to know, is there a chance? Let's keep leeching him. He's doing a bit of... I feel... I gotta go for it. The fairy is healing it. Okay, so we need to kill the fairy first. Don't hit me, don't hit me. Oh gosh, he's gonna hit me. It's so close. No! Oh, he has an AoE range where he hits. Oh man. Look, I've got a nice little kiting path. I can trick this guy to try and hit me. Yeah, see, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. He's a wimp. Oh, that boy, that one up there is not helping at the moment, is it? Yeah, I have a bad feeling right now. I can't get to the ferry. That's what's troubling me most. Oh! I killed the fairy, though. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm down with that. That's fine. You gotta push yourself, right? The mistake was casting a spell when I was too close to him. I should have gained some more distance. Oh, right. Okay, it's these. Let's just sort this, shall we? Oh, they hit me for 50. Of course they did. Rest in pepperonis. All right, let's continue. Things are going fine. Come at me. I will chop you. Yeah. Alright, that's fine. It's not, to be honest, it doesn't take that long. Uh-oh. It doesn't take that long to... New sword! It doesn't take that long to get back to where you were, which is nice. I don't feel it's that punishing. The fact the enemies are back and you get more XP going back, it means that the cycle of dying and coming back isn't too punishing. I guess it'd be nicer if I would find a new shard. Are they coming for me regardless? They can't shoot through walls, right? Nice, okay. There we go, look at that! Look at that! Literally implemented a speed boost to enemies the further you run because I was running through levels. Hang on, a speed boost to enemies the further you run because I was running through levels after dying. What do you mean by running through? Oh, as in you weren't fighting them? That's cool. I'm happy that I killed the knight and the archer. So the resistance of magic is probably related on what type of enemy they are as well. I've noticed that, like, so these are blue. I don't know what type of magic these are, but if we try and just fireball these as an example. No, let's leech them, because it actually makes sense to leech two of them together. Do they resist? Yeah, they resist that. So maybe leech is blue damage? I don't know. I don't know if we can tell. Yeah, look at that. Now we're talking. This archer's not after me, but... Holy cow. Okay, so we're going to have to do something here. We're far too close to... Yeah, I kind of had to just do that. Hopefully we can kill the little things. We just stack them all together, though. Look at that. Master leechage. Okay, now we're going to have to just start swiping. We lost a lot of health. But the speed was getting faster and faster. Green is good against red. Red is good against purple. And purple is good against green. So I'm good against red. This is purps. Alright, so we're going to physical smash this. Oh, so all my magic will be of that note. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, Chris, is that your fault? That system. Oh, he hit me. He hit me. How am I meant to fight this ogre if I'm taking hits against peasants like you? Chop. I got no time for this. Okay, are they close enough for leech? Nice. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Don't take 50. Don't take 50. Don't take 50. Okay, turn around and swipe. Chop. Happy with that? Okay, avoid this. Chop. Okay, good. I really enjoy the combat, topbraj. You've done a great job. Genuinely. Alright, I'm going to have to stop at 9 because I'm noticing the time is getting on a bit. I'm not as exhausted today. Okay, they're red. So green is good against red, I think you said, right? Yeah, so I could have used... Okay, green on green would probably be just normal. But we're going to get... I didn't look for the shadow. I need to keep my health. No. How much? How much? 50. Ah. It's good. Like the nature of the combat makes me feel like it's my fault when I die, which is true. I think I'm gonna die again. Part of me feels maybe I should try and get to the castle first. I don't even know how I get into the castle. I've got to go to the front. I don't know whether I should come back here after I've got like the save point, you know. But at the same time... Oh, what? You can use WSAD to move! How have I only just figured that out? Alright, ogre friend. It's time. Oh, I need to kill you little... Okay, she's red, so green is good against red. I don't know. She's going to just keep going that way, though, isn't she? No, move. Okay, I gotta think about that. He's getting very close. He's getting healed. Every time you see that icon, that's them getting healed. This is my way of getting damage. Oh, we're gonna also get a fireball. Oh, damn. Yeah, I hit him. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, let's get a leech on you too. And then we're going to sword you when we're cocky. We think we're getting it. I can out damage your healer. Your healer's just a little fairy, mate. I don't know my name. Oh, we don't need this right now, though. This is not helping. No! I did not mean to do that. Okay, I don't know. It'd be nice to see numbers. Oh, it says here, right? Fairy heals for 20. That's fine. I'm hitting them for 50. If I hit him with my sword, I hit him for... Did I kill it? No. Move. Yes! Boom! No, yeah. Now you run away, fairy. I'm coming at you. Ha ha ha! I'm the Ortman. Alright. We'll go with that. I can't believe it. I almost died to that thing. Alright, let's go and get that chest. I killed the ogre. I feel... Do you know what? There was a slight sense of... You know when you come across the butcher in Diablo for the first time? It's a creature you know that is... Oh no, the bulls. A creature you know that is challenging. Oh gosh, please don't come for me, bulls. I'm not ready for this. 50? I don't even have enough for it! Alright. So this is going to be interesting. We need to leech some health back. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad to see. Oh, is that the max range? Or is it just through a wall I can't do it? Yeah, you can't do it through a wall. I mean, that's fair. Okay, that's fine. I'm guessing they can't get me through the tree. Did that hit me? No. It's interesting that it keeps ticking even when I'm not moving. Oh, this is a little... Ooh. Oh, no, 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 no! What am I meant to do? I don't know how I'm meant to stop him unless I get that slow power up. What's my new sword like? Melee damage, yeah, and I prefer the damage. Let's go for that. I don't know how to get past them. Are they blocking the path to the castle? Where's the old man's house as well? Yeah, they are catching up. It's tricky, like, when you start running away from them, I know, like, and there's two of them, I feel I can't, like, attack and move anymore because they get so fast. So it means, like, you really need... That leeching strategy is not very good, is basically what I'm concluding. Like, with these, it's fine, because they have low health. With the other guys, I need to hit a few times. They're painfully optional. Well, it looked like they were the path I needed to go. But we will find out. I do enjoy that there's the kind of Pokemon element of, like, different magic things are better than magical spells. Like paper, rock, scissors, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to remind there is a game jam I'm hosting this Saturday. It goes on over 9 days. You can take part for 1 day to 9 days if you want. I don't expect people to work full out for 9 days, though. I actually discourage it if you read the description. But yeah, it's just the length of it is due to give people an opportunity to partake around a busy life. But yeah, do for free. I'll announce the theme at midday on Saturday when I stream. So if anyone's interested in that, do feel free to sign up now on that itch page I just linked in chat. Fireball is much better than sword because the area effect. It deals damage. Does it knock them back though? Oh, you cheeky chap. What's this? Oh, we got a necklace. Alright, nice. Alright, let's try and get back. The ogre's going to be back now, right? Oh, sad times. That was the restaurant. I don't know where that old man's house is. Was it down here? I feel like I want to find it, because at least we can open one of those bloody chests. No, this is where... Oh, no, it might have been. That might have been his house. The one who said, don't touch anything, and then we smashed up his house, because we're a jerk. Oh, the crabs were quite tricky boys, if I remember. They do crab around a bit, don't they? Oh, the crabs are one of the most difficult enemies I've come across. Because you got to get close, because they move away randomly. But then if you're close and they use to attack instead of pace, they then thwack you for 75. Alright. What's in here? Let me in. Let me in your chest. What did you give me? Okay, I have a cloak. That I'll have to wait until I get to a shard to check out. Okay, good. We're good. I can't believe I still haven't got to more than one shard, though. It's because I seek out adventure against ogres who are going to defeat me, right? I'm a fool. An adventurer. Yeah, I need to attack when they're further away. Let's let that guy shoot and then we can whack around. I'm still getting experience, as I said. It's not too far. It's not too bad. It's just disappointing when I know I'm going to get like one shot by those bulls. I just want to get past them and go to the castle. That's all I want. Hello there, Grumpy Game Dev. Nice to see you. We did play the Grumpy Game Dev's game. Freebooter Explored 2 weeks ago now. Today we're checking out Fates of Ord by the wonderful 8BitSkull. Now let him shoot first. Come on. I need to use that space thing that Chris said more often as well. Right, we haven't used Fireball much. It's only 6. Let's get that for a little intro. Let's not run away because their speed gets higher. Oh my words. I thought I was far enough away. Let's let a shot go first. Okay. We might be able to get a cheeky leech here. Is that both of them? That is. Yeah. Okay, we can kite this one around just for a bit. Get a little bit of health back, shall we? And then we'll chop this one down. I'm gonna chop this one down as well. Chop! Oh, I did say explore wrong. Thank you, Bizarrio. Make it to 11 user reviews. I had positive. Hey! I'm glad to hear. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I dropped a review straight after stream. Are these going to come for me as I walk past? They are. I don't think it's worth leeching versus 1, but we could. Are they close enough? Yeah? No, they weren't. Oh, it's because of the line of sight issue there. Okay, we need to watch the arrows. Oh, it'd be cool if he could attack his own mate, wouldn't it? No! Okay, I did well apart from the arrow. I'm happy with my play there. Even though I took damage, it's fine. Okay, take a bit of health from those and then we will... No! Oh my... what did I do wrong there? I think I attacked too early, which means I didn't kill the one in front of me and the one behind me hit me. There was just poor execution. Yeah, the range is one of the things I misgauge the most often. I wonder if different weapons have different ranges. Just gonna let this boy shoot. Oh, let's get some of this XP stuff we didn't pick up as well. I don't even know where I'm going actually. Did I come up this way? Map. No, we haven't gone down south. This is like the bull land. Shall we try south? No, that takes us to Trollwad. But we've only got 5 minutes left. I got a feeling we haven't got time for this castle anymore. Let's go somewhere new. I think it's new anyway. Yeah, this is new. Oh, I don't know if he was meant to spawn there. Was he topbraj or does it fly? Maybe it has a fly attack. We've got to keep an eye out for that. Okay. Oh right, this is the crab. Crabs are horrible. So we're gonna leech life. Hopefully it'll take more than 6 times. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it for 1 health gain, really, was it? Oh, I left the bloody screen as well. Okay. Oh, actually, this is the way to the castle. Madness. Okay, that's fine. Now we need to go north. Okay, this boy is fine. These I don't like. I think at this point I'm just going to hit it a couple of times with that. Although it's blue, I'm not great against blue, am I? No, it's got a resistance of 50 here. Alright, stuff it. We're just going to sword you. Nasty crab friend. We'll get you close though, and then we can leech. I like that. We can do that. And we can even do it. That's one. Yeah, I can use your silly movement against you. You crabby jerks. Don't corner me though. I'm not ready for that. Okay, they're together. They're together. Go for it. Here. And the fireball. Yee, kabla. I went through the gap. Oh my gosh. All the health I'm getting, I'm wasting on these missed fireballs. I just want to hit a... There we go. I could die here, so we need to be wary. I think I might leech him again. I'd like if the enemies hit each other. I think that would be an interesting dynamic. Okay, we just want to... Oh no, I'm cornered here. Okay, I think I try and attack it. Damn it. No. Okay, he's gonna... Oh, flip. What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, indeed, Watery. Which is why this like pause format really works for it, right? Because you get to determine the usefulness of it. How much did they hit me for? 75. I'm on 72. I do believe it... How much is this going to take? No, I'd need to leech a ton to make it worthwhile. But this... Does it kill it? I can't remember if it does. I'm going to go for it. We need to avoid this and then run along the top. Keep running, keep running. Okay, I gotta leech it again. It seems too good of an opportunity. Okay, we can take one more hit now, which is good. How much is a fireball right now? We can take one more and if we fireball them. So let's just get a good fireball position. Kablamo! Alright, sword you. I'm going to sword you in your face, cramp boy. Yeah. Okay, and now if we don't get hit by the green stuff, we had a good old fight. Good. Oh, there's another crab, but they're the other side of water. Let's just wait for the... No! Oh, crikey. I don't know how I can get... Oh, gosh, that was close. Alright, let's wait here. And then let's... Oh, okay, there's an archer and a knight. I feel I can take the knight. If we just keep the... Oh, the archer's involved as well. Ooh. Move away. Oh, that... Oh, no. Okay, so I felt that I'd stopped, and I didn't expect him to attack. But I think he started his attack animation on that turn. Otherwise, he would have kept running. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, I don't know. This makes me sad. I was so close to the castle. I don't plan to get hit that much, so as much as that is a nice cloak. Projectile deflection. Hold on, I can deflect projectiles. I can hit them maybe? Monster vision increased, but spell casting rate. Okay, so that's the speed of it, is it? I start to think maybe my attack rate is better than damage. Projecting of deflection. I'm trying to think how I deflect things. If I can... does that make them hurt more when I deflect? I don't do it enough at the moment. I think that the status effect length is probably better. Alright, I'm going to the castle and then I'm stopping. I can't. We're doing this. It's fine. We'll probably be level like 12 by the time we get to the castle. We'll probably avoid combat if we can. I keep thinking I can hit two enemies at once, which is not true. Unless they're directly on top of each other, perhaps. Projectile deflects just slightly pushes the projectiles away from you. Okay, so the number is how much it pushes them away from you? That can be confusing if you're trying to avoid them. Well, yeah, I'd have to play around with it, I guess. Did we go down south? No, we go left and then south. Some say west, but those who mess up west and east just say left. Left. Do we need... Can we go this way? I'm trying to remember. Do we have to go up and then across? Yeah, you could go this way, right? Chop! You have to shout. It's like explore, as we learned 2 weeks ago. It's not a word you just say. It's an action you just do. You must shout every time you do it. Now, Alex, you've done a great job with this. I really like... I feel that it has a good mechanic and a good, like, oh, I can do better next time feeling to it. Which isn't always easy to have in a game. Let's wait for this to shoot again. So I'm holding space there to make time continue to pass. Oh, we're going south, aren't we? Let's go. Stuff those maggots. Yeah, your writing's been really good as well, dude. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, I got clawed. What is this? I don't know. Oh, it's like a purple ogre. Okay. We got him anyway. So we're brave boys. Let's go. 730 health. Come on. And usually, like, I've gotten this far within like 2 minutes through just skipping the enemy. So, like, if I'm really keen to progress, I don't have to kill the enemies. I just feel compelled to, I guess. Oh, these crabs, though. I swear, there's some of the most difficult enemies. I don't know if they're going to keep chasing me, but we're going to keep going. Right, this is where we died last time. No, why did I attack again? Okay. Right, fireball here looks... Oh, hang on. Leech him first. No, the line of sight, Dan. Line of sight. And now... Hold on. Okay, he's going to attack, so we're going to change the sword. We're going to step away. Attack, then move. Attack, then move. So I think using the environment might help you, like, kite him a bit. Oh, you swine. No. Oh, this guy's going to get me, isn't he? Okay, let's fire blast him. And... Oh! Curses! That was a tough encounter. Is this the castle? Let me just make sure I didn't... There's a box I can smash. There's a few boxes I can smash. Give me some health at least. Come on. Alright, experience will do. I might get to level up just before... How far away? No, 150 is quite a bit. Okay. To the castle! Fast travel location has been found. I can't believe we finally made it to the castle. Oh, and I got a big fat sword. That looked... I don't know if it just looked big because it's bigger for you to pick up. But it looked like... I'm hoping it's a sword with long range or just awesomeness to it. So it's a claymore. Before it was just a blade. Oh, no. Sorry, claymore is what it was. This has knockback, projectile reflection, and melee damage. That is a sword and a half. We're taking that. Alright. I've made it. If 10% of people tell you, it means 90%. Hang on. It means 90% think it, but don't say anything. I've never thought it, if that helps. I need to sneeze, excuse me. I go slightly Mario mode while sneezing. I apologise. Castle Mortifax is enormous. I heard King Solomon's throne room is overflowing with gold. They say he used to be a fierce warrior when he was younger, but when was that? I can't remember. How old is he? Maybe with enough gold you can buy eternal life. I think, well, the second time they've referred to his age, I think there is something devious going on. The king perhaps already has a deal with the bone collector. To stay alive. Right, to the castle. All these should have reset now. No. Hang on. Is that the base rate? Alright, well we got a big fat sword now. Oh, what? Yeah, okay, it's not actually any bigger, like, our attack swing, but that's okay. Here we go, we're in a castle. Who wants some? One life, that's all we got now. I've come to slay the king! And I'll slay anyone who stands in my way. Fitting music. Oh my gosh, I mean, I'm... Oh, what does this mean? That looks bad. Can I fireball it from a distance? Okay, I did get a warning. That looks bad too. Maybe we can use it against the enemies. Oh, this is like a dungeon in its own right? Are you seeking my father? For what? Help? Duke Camersalt says, with amusement. That would be a sight to see. Please, King Solomon, your kingdom needs you. Ha! How naive you are. Why are you turning people into monsters? That's what I'm... Why are you doing this? That? Duke Camersalt's jaw stiffens. Must I have a reason? What reason do kings of conquest have for their campaigns of blood and misery? Look around you. The rot is endemic. From the highest royals to the lowliest of peasants, life is misery punctuated by shallow moments of happiness. And you know what? That's my reason. To end the suffering. No, I think it's personal. Why? The Duke scoffs. Sure, I had a tough life. My father betrayed me. The love of my life was murdered. I was broken at the hands of my mentor. Yes, I've made mistakes. But the punishment warranted? Did I deserve to be let down and betrayed, even by the gods themselves? Sensing your thoughts, he raises a finger to point at you. This is not about me. I am not seeking pity, merely illustrating how this creation is rotten to the core. The scorned and I are not so different, rejected and betrayed at every turn. Yes, their power is corrupting, he says, as a purple glint sparks in his eyes. But I have had centuries to control it, hone it. I will hold on long enough to see this world be consumed. Alrighty. So where was... Hang on. Is he ahead? Is this a health bar? I'm concerned. Well, we got enemies out here. Are they explosive as well? Well, they've spotted me. The scorned are evil versions. This is rejected by old mother. Interesting, okay. We might be able to leech those and these. Hide from that projectile. Switch to fire. Fire, then move. Then sword. This boy move. What the? I don't know. Oh, okay, there's the... Okay, we are fighting him. He's doing this stuff as well. I triggered him in an unusual place. Okay, so this is the son of the guy we've come, right? Oh, man. Okay, he's gone. We need to kill the ads first. How? Okay, that I don't get. Like, how? Where's it coming from? How am I meant to avoid it? Oh my gosh, there's so many people here. This is not going to plan. Let's try and lose him on some of these corners if we can. No, I took a hit on that corner there, didn't I? What's going to be best? Fireball. Okay. Fireball again. Oh, I have knockback now. Flippin' heck, I forgot about that. That makes a big difference. Okay. Oh, what is that item? I need it. I don't care if I die. Okay. This feels awesome, by the way, this encounter. Now that all of those are dead, I feel better as well. I think they're all dead anyway. I think it goes from him, that big wave. There's a shadow there, so let's avoid that. Okay, so he's spawning this out. Let's get a fireball ready. Oh no, let's get a bit of... No, you need line of sight, remember. Okay, then we'll get a sword to kill this creature thing. Okay, run. It's easier when it's just us. Oh, what is that thing? Okay, that goes through walls, so we need to avoid. Oh gosh, this looks nasty. How are they moving? Like, oh my, what? Okay. That's a lot of bullets. Okay, let's get some health back off of these boys. No! Ay, 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 ay. Why? There's so much of that stuff, of these bullets. I don't know what's causing it. Is that the ad that he spawned, the spawning it? Potentially. In which case, we need to rid of it. Okay, that's that one dead. It might be that, like, wizardy one. Nice, okay, that's dead. No, it's not. It just... Okay, it's... Nice. Okay, now it's dead. Now it's dead. We need to maybe get... Oh, he spawned another one, the jerk. Oh, he's over here. Fireball him. Oh, no. Okay. This is less good. We need to run, but we also need to... I don't want to leave the screen. Have I got time to shoot? Oh no, don't go out. Oh, this is cruel. How was I... that was unfortunate. I should have just whacked him. I wonder if that happens when you're too close to him, maybe. It feels very hard to avoid. I wonder if there's some teleport or speed increase sort of thing. But I think that was an awesome point to finish on because, like, yeah, that took the game to another level for me. Like, that was super, like, it's almost strategy, isn't it? It's strategy. I love how you can pause through not taking an action and evaluate the situation. Yeah, it was cool. I felt like I could have beat him. The only thing I didn't have a control over was that, like, the blue wave kind of effect that happens if he's close. I see. I don't know if there's a way to avoid it. I guess it would be me not getting into a corner, and if he's approaching, quickly finding a way to get out of that. Yeah, it's very cool though, very cool. Like I'd want to go back and have another go, but I also know it's 9:15. I try to go to bed around 10:30, so yeah, let's just call it. But thank you for hanging out in chat, 8BitSkull Dev, as well during this. Rush in early, take the first hit, and beat the snot out of it. Yeah, that's another thing. You could, instead of trying to run with it, just constantly hit him. I think the fact that I was taking on around 6 ads at the same time didn't help a lot. He teleports a lot, though, we nipper. well. Yeah, so a reminder, topbraj was the dev for this. He worked with a few other people, one of which is the wonderful Watery Tart as well. So if you want any further information about those wonderful people, you can find 8-bit dev. Where is he? He's here. 8BitSkull, sorry, dev. That is a link to his Twitter. He linked his Discord. If he's still got it, he's welcome to post it again, but I appreciate you might be on mobile now. Watery Tart as well is the wonderful musician for this as well, and a general nice guy as well. Part of the game dev communities on Twitch. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I said that, but you said that. Thank you for taking the time to play the game and having a blether with me. I hereby bestow you the title of Top Dat. Don't make me blush. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. What a title you've bestowed upon me. No, I very much appreciate it. So remember, Saturday we are kicking off the Honest Game Jam. Even if you just want to do 5 hours over a week or so to make something small, it'd be appreciated. I'll announce the theme at midday on Saturday, this Saturday coming, and you'll have 9 days, any time within that 9-day period to work on it. So do feel free to take part in that. More information can be found on that page that I just linked. And if you're interested in trying out this game for yourself, which I do recommend, the store page can be found there. I genuinely enjoyed it. I will let you know if I do play it more. I kind of feel like I want to, but as I described earlier, I have a bit of a problem with letting myself play single player games. I find it hard to make the time for it sometimes. So, but I'd like to, because I've been definitely intrigued by it, and I think it's got so many great qualities to this. So congratulations on a wonderful game. I hope it continues to sell. I'll leave a review for it as well, dude.